Morning, team. Sorry, having a few technicals here. Just in the Tanuki chat room, trying to get the GEX level sorted for us all, but hopefully we'll get there. And it seems to be a bug on TradingView the last few days. Anyway. All right, let's go over the charts. So what do we have here? Well, we're holding the breakout. We talked about yesterday the 750s, if we got a drive lower, would become key. Why? Well, it was our breakout point. You can really quite simply just put a little horizontal line on right here. And there you go. We held it overnight. All right, so the bullish consolidation, 2-week consolidation, breakout, fail breakout, come back in, finding a bid, now play an inside bar, all right, versus yesterday. All right, so another indication of chop. We're actually building out 1, 2, 3 days of liquidity here. I'm sure we're going to use it. It just depends which way they want to go with it. All right, so to start with, inside bar, not really getting much progress or zero progress over the 120, 150 level we talked about yesterday. All right, 120, 150. I'm zoomed in. It looks absolutely fine to me. Oh, I see what you're saying. This right here. There we go. Sorry, my friends. Off the screen. I get it. Off the screen. All right, so you can see there. Makes it simple, right? There's your breakout point. All right, it's where the stops are. We broke out. That's why we talked about the 750. I think it's even in the newsletter. All right, that's the important over-under. It's also the 5-day. I know, Legend coming in with a coffee. She's great. Lucky man. All right, so we're holding this, but we're inside Tuesday and Wednesday's price action right now. And you can see it really easily when we move to the hourly and we look at the current week. So let's just do that quickly now. And I'm just going to bring this up. Just focus on this chart for a minute. Okay, so the current week value is right here. You can see we're very thin. This is the gap up. All right, we're very thin under here. So 750s is what we held on Tuesday. All right, and we held it again overnight. Now, most of the volume we've created from yesterday, look, we've got so many bugs on TradingView. It's become buggy again. They've got to fix this. The coders over there are having a nightmare right now. Mate, what a nightmare. Right. Anyway, I'll try and ignore the flickering on the screens. I'm sorry, guys. You can see most of this week's value right here with a couple of nodes. All right, so overnight, what happened? Well, yesterday, let's start with yesterday. Yesterday, we just played inside value. Eventually, if any of you took the longs that we called for this in the afternoon, I said, don't be short anymore. You've had failed breakdowns at value. If anything, we're going to try and get back up to 120. Look where we hit, 120. All right, on the nose, 120. Why? It's because where we failed from. All right, all we have to do is think about the H1. Lots of you yesterday were calling a short here, and I said, look, it's far more likely we're coming back test this, even if we are going to break down and puke. All right, we talked about that yesterday. So all we did really by doing that is back test, pull back off, point of control, bid back off, fail, point of control, back down to the underside, test it, fail to break lower, come back inside range, back to the top side. You can see your chop zone is very, very, very well defined right now. All right, these are your failed breakouts at the highs. These are the failed breakouts at the low. We are going to chop here 900 to, we can just call it 100, 200 point of chop in there. All right, folks, that's what the market's doing. It is building out liquidity right now for the next move. Be aware of that, which means inside that you're likely to get chopped up. All right, so we have to think about what type of trader you are and what you're looking for. Failed breakouts and breakouts will live the other side of these. All right, so if we're going to get continuation, you'd need a push, a pullback to hold, ideally a 2-leg, and then maybe you can look for the 200s and maybe even all-time highs. All right, a failed breakout there will be starting to look like how it is. Maybe a sweep here, maybe it doesn't get it at that high, comes back under, loses value, loses point of control, and we go back into the ping pong. All right, this would be the ping pong, just like we did here. Breaks below, reclaims, goes back up. So if we come back down there again, it would look like this, or a breakdown if we build enough. Certainly under here is the interesting level. All right, if we start rejecting 750, we've got the gap fill potential. So I would set price alert 750, 900s and 100s today. There is a chance, okay, there's a chance, this is an awful trade, but there's, or a very disgusting trade, I should say. There's a chance a morning flush gets absorbed on point of control. All right, which is basically 30,000 down to 975, right? There is a chance they do this move here. That, I hate that. All right, I hate that because your risk would be here and your rewards here and you're playing the midpoint of the range. It's literally, yes, it's fair value, but it's literally one of the worst entries possible. So just be aware of that today. All right, we're still in a range. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed from yesterday at all. Okay, have a quick look at the 5-minute chart. And we'll have to go through the GEX levels on here because for some reason they will not work on a 1-minute chart thanks to the new TradingView bugs that they've just done on all the updates. I mean, I feel for the guys coding right now. What a nightmare. All right, so Asia. This was yesterday afternoon. Asia fails to make a new high. Always the first story of the lower high fails to make the new high. There's the flush. All right, back down into the 750s. Base is out at 750s. There's your compression. There's the reclaim of range. London goes up. New York comes back in for early like options trading, holds the double bottom, and we go back to the other side of the range. Again, boxed in. Not much to look at here. But be aware of these cool walls, right? You can see 110 is your first cool wall. 55 is your high volume node. What does that line up with? Well, this is the current weak point of control. All right, and this is value area high on the current week. All right, we find acceptance over that. There are some cool walls above back towards the highs. In terms of put walls, well, we'd need to find acceptance under current week value area low. There's your P1. We're tight here, folks. I mean, it's 200 points of range. It's tradable, but just understand the kind of environment that we're in today. All right, folks, and understand the environment. Okay, so here's, just before we go any further, if you ask me where the GEX levels today are, if I'm on an M1, they're not showing. If I move to an M2, they suddenly appear. This is some coding issue over on TradingView right now. So if you're using Tanuki, you might be having the same issue. It's only a problem on the futures market. It's not a problem on the ETF. So just be aware of that right now. If I'm on the M1 and you're like, where are they? They won't be there. I can't do anything about it until they fix the coding. It's nothing to do with me. Okay, let's go to ES. Go through the indexes, see where the strength's coming from. I'm going to zoom out here for a minute. You can see the chop continuing. Big node here being developed. There's the chop. All right, no acceptance outside of this. All right, so you'd need ES to move under 720 and have failure to reclaim for that move back down into the next zone. We're not seeing that right now, or you're going to need it to move over 45s and 50s and find acceptance here for the drive up. All right, so I would say 45s to 50s and then 20s, that's your chop zone. All right, that's probably your avoidance zone unless you're playing return back in, or waiting for the base and go, or break down and go. All right, otherwise that's your liquidity building zone. I should remind you, overall we're bullish. Overall, in case you need reminding in these markets, overall we are bullish. All right, spiders. Same story. It's pretty easy to see, isn't it? It's pretty easy to see here. Look, there's a breakout. There's the range. All right. Some of you would say head and shoulders. Okay, you can say that if you want, but we haven't broken down. All right. So I would say it could be head and shoulders, could be a 2-leg and a W, which starts to base. That's the whole point, right? That's why we build out a range. Someone's going to get caught. So it's up to you whether you want to be pulling a trigger this morning. I'm not filled with confidence looking at this right now. Maybe things will change at the open. Qs, same kind of story with a bigger peak. All right, there you go. There's the gap. All right, this is from last week as we drive up, and we are just consolidating here. So same levels for Qs. You can see put wall 1, we're holding 25s, and call wall 1, we're holding 31s. All right, so 25s to 31s, that's your rotation. Acceptance over, maybe we go further. Acceptance under, maybe we fill the gap. You can just set price alerts and just make it easy for yourselves. Don't get chopped up this morning. Okay, Dixie still tried to find a bid yesterday in the evening with those airstrikes starting. We're starting to come back in. Same thing, still in a range. We can have a quick look at the VIX, still just drifting lower. This is very typical of seasonal between now and the end of summer, really. This is what we tend to see. Semis. Right, these are the big ones that matter right now. Semis. Again, very similar to the Qs. I'd say with relative strength. All right, so we are boxed in here right now in the semis. These are the levels. All right, basically 205s and 225s and the high volume node right there, slap bang in the middle. Right, if we lose these pre-market lows and yesterday's lows, you can see there's a 190 print here with the gap fill potential. All right, so you can set price alerts. In fact, I'm going to set price alerts right now if TradingView is going to let me. Okay, I'm going to set one to the upside for the break. Maybe we do it over the gap, the old gap here, 26s. All right, so boxed in there, very much like the Qs. This is going to have to make a decision. Let's go through the mag because we have no alignment in the mag. So Apple gapping down again, still in a box, isn't it? Not too pretty. Amazon, all right, flat. Big drive up yesterday, starting to hold the breakout point. Right, it probably boxes in here unless we can get going. 75 is its target right now. Goog, gap down, boxed in, high volume node, messy. Meta, strong off that news yesterday. Remember, we're swing long Meta. We are up, anyone in Discord, we're up pretty big. This isn't the biggest we've been up on it, but we're looking pretty good right now. Where's Meta gone? We're looking pretty good right now. We're long from here, remember, 40s. All right, I didn't take any money. I'm waiting to see if we base out, fill this gap and go again. We'll see. This is important here, how we act. We don't want another breakdown again. But we look good. We're up about $100 right now on that swing. So if you're playing leaps or you want to cover some, you can cover some into there. But we look good. We'll see if we get continuation today after that news yesterday on Meta. We'd like to really be holding dips into 35. Certainly 38s would be strong, but 35s, we really don't want to lose the 30s. Microsoft. All right, still chopping about. This looks weaker, all right, out of all of them right now. Software not really catching a bid how we would have hoped, with chips remaining strong. If chips start to rotate out, we'll catch a bid on software. You see Softy coming down, filling its gap. It is gapping up, but unless we see this, we're in a range. If we break down and start losing the full 10s, it's going to get a little bit in trouble here. Nvidia selling off as we rotate into the other names. This looks very clean right now. At some point this will change. All right, just depends. Do they need to come down here or are they going to do this before? All right, but another gap down on Nvidia. It's not finding the strength. The strength's gone to the other names right now, MU, AMD, etc., as we start to rotate through the different individual names. Tesla looks good. All right, still holding well over the 420s. Failed follow through today will be on a gap fill. So a failure to reclaim 440 will probably be a problem for Tesla. It can just base out in between here. All right, and if it fails 440 and then has follow through under 32s and 30s, that's when you're going to see the retest of the 25s and 20s. All right, so it really depends what happens here. Are we going to get that inverted head and shoulder look for the drive up, or are we going to see failed follow through versus yesterday's volume and failure? Right, chips coming, driving out pretty well. Software not really catching the big bid we would hope, but hopefully not too far away. Hopefully we can hold the top side of this range in some of these software names and we get a little rotation out of some of the semis. Sooner rather than later would be good because we'll swing long in a lot of these, but we have locked money in. That's all that really matters. All right, folks, and that be that. Zoom this out. Right, so opening the day, basing up here, but we are inside yesterday's value. It does not look particularly great right now. These are the things I try and avoid. Inside bar, inside yesterday's value. Peaking at both ends of the range right now. Fun, eh? Really fun. What's the symbol for chips? SOXL. SOXL. Right, open coming here in 5 seconds. Good luck, everybody. I'll see what they want to do with this morning. I'm not in a hurry this morning. So back into previous day value area high. So from previous day point of control to value area high, they might come and test that 120 again. A base and hold over at 120 can allow a drive up to the 200s. Now, this is where we've got stuck the last couple of days, or certainly yesterday. Just going to let this market settle down for 5 minutes, and we'll go from there. Little readout on the mag. Tesla open up 0.71% down, Nvidia 0.21% up, Microsoft 0.73% up, Meta 1.18% up, Google 0.17% down, Amazon 0.63% down, Apple 0.25% down. All right, market just not an alignment in the mag. That's a good hold though, I would say, from the semis as they come and test after hours high, which will be sort of 23 to 25 is what we're watching to see if they fail up there or they start to base over. There's the move towards that grey box, that kind of 120 zone. We can probably lift that a little bit up to cover that wick. There we go. Okay. So I'm interested how we act when we get up here. Do we like look above and fail? Do we fail in front of it? All right, the options up here are just to fail, straight down to here, fail this into here, fail this into this. Look above and say move, or look above and start to base and go. We're just in a giant range right now. Just make sure you're zoomed out. Look at your H1. ES coming back in, filled its gap, coming back down to VWAP right now. We'll see if they're willing to bid VWAP on ES. They're going to have to make a decision in this grey box if they're going to bid the Qs or not. Otherwise, we're going to slide. Fun, eh? See why I love trading ranges so much. They're absolutely my my favourite market. Not. Okay, buyers caught those highs so far at 310s. We're back down to previous stage value here. Previous day value area high. Previous day point of control. Lower high sat there on the 1 minute versus current volume. We should put that on before I forget. Where are you? There we go. Again, this box matters. They're going to have to bid this. If they fail to bid this, we're going to slide into the next box as ES comes back down to its VWAP like we just talked about. Into the underside of this. Sellers coming in here. SOXL coming back down to its high volume node at 1750s. MAG starting to look a little heavier here now. And this will be key. How do we act down here? Do we find a bid or do we just slide all the way in? It looks like we're just going to rotate the range, losing value, coming back down. And this right here will be the box we talked about pre-market, which is the current weak point of control. Now, it's possible they hold a dip there. It is not an area I like to bid off. The reason being is that it is right slap bang in the midpoint of the giant range right now. But it is possible they will want to hold a bid there. I would way prefer to be trading the extremes right now. There we go. Yes, losing VWAP. This is just a disaster to trade for me. So if they fail to follow through here, they will reject the next push up. Current weak point of controls in here. This will be key for this or this if they want to go again. They did trap buyers at the highs. I will say that. The buyers got caught trying to buy high. I don't know why you'd want to buy up there this morning, but they did. Does my code work with the 5 Apex still? Yes, of course it does. Absolutely. Yeah, if you didn't see the news last night, Apex, you can now buy bundles of 5. And you can now also buy it where it's includes, how do I say it? Includes the full price like you would at Lucid. So it includes your, I can't think what it's called. Alex's brain is not working. Someone help me out. Activation fee. Include your activation fee. All right, in towards this grey box. Okay, current point of control here is basically 75-ish to 80s. This level here, if they lose that, we come right back down into this. So here we go, into this point of control. Sellers getting very aggressive here at the 30,000s. It's a mess here, folks. It's a mess. We expect this in range. It's edge to edge, eh? So first little reaction in this grey box, like we expect. Like, it's an argument to bid off this. I feel very uncomfortable bidding midpoint of the range, but in terms of the H1 structure, there is an argument to bid off this point of control right now. You are seeing a reaction here. So it's up to you if you want to take that. I will not be bidding off this. Do not want to be playing mid-range. That's just me, though. You don't have to do the same. That's the hold of 30,000. Now, if they start to break through 20s, they will try and revisit 50s. I'd be very careful if you are trying to bid these. Here goes SOXL trying to get back up to the upside, back through its high volume node. So you'd be watching to see if they can find acceptance over 20s for a squeeze up to 50s. At the moment, they're not finding that. You have got a shelf here. You can see there's a battle here. ES breaking down. Q's finding strength. SOXL chopping right on its high volume node. Still lots of liquidity to fill lower. At 30,000 and then lower. So if they lose the bid here, where do those sellers come in? Yeah, 30,000. 30,000 is going to be key here. If they lose the bid here, I think we start breaking down. There's lots of liquidity underneath to go and fill. You're just midpoint of the range. So if you took the short of the highs, oh, don't move that. If you took the short up here, you want to be covering some into this and then holding runners to see if you get to the bottom of the range. If you're long in this grain box, I would be very careful if you can't find acceptance over 20s right now. You do not want to give this room. If you're long, you're playing mid of the range. For me, like I said, I even talked about pre-market. I don't really want to trade the midpoint. XOXL starting to break down here, new low of day. What a chop fest. 2-day chop fest. 2-day or 3-day? 2-day really. Yesterday and today. Back towards the 20s, so they're testing value area low on the session. Q's finding a bid off that high volume level for options, 28s. SOXL looks weaker here. It's breaking down. New low of days, SOXL. I'm telling you, if that starts dragging, market will drag with it. If it can catch a bid and reclaim 17s, market will pop with it. So you've got to be very aware here. That's why it's a big chop zone, this box. Remember, it is the most traded level since the Sunday Open where we are at right now. Understand that. It's the most traded level since the Sunday Open. I'd like to move away from this level one way or another so we get an edge to play. Lots of sellers coming in here at the lows between 30,000 and this low of New York session right now. If they get a break lower, they'll be in the money. They're certainly in control right now. Lots of liquidity to fill lower again. They're adding liquidity lower. So they're trying to get a fill lower. All the way down to 55s is possible if they snap. It's a big battle. The chop zone. Which lens is this? I don't know what it's called. It's like a green blue light lens with my prescription in. So I'm short-sighted and I have stigmatism as well. All right, sellers trying to be aggressive here, trying to get view up. So there's the breakdown. They're going to try and fill down a 50 at the moment by the looks of it on the tape. In they come. Here's the break. And SOXL low of day in the New York session. Here's view up. So if you were short, you want to cover a bit more here. Choppy, choppy, choppy. And I would now say sellers will want to defend 30,000s or 92s if possible. Would I say this market's frothy? I mean, not now. In the drive up, yeah, but we've gone the last few weeks. We've actually like starting to broaden the market a bit after some consolidation. So less so now, but certainly on that initial drive up into early May, yes, absolutely. Okay, losing this grey box now. So if they stay heavy, we'll come back down to value area low, which means a value area high to value area low full rotation. Ideally, you'd want it to pop and fail here to show you they're willing to fail. But apparently, we're just going to go straight down at the moment. Make sure this lines up. Okay, my NinjaTrader value area low is actually at 43s. So we're coming into that a little bit earlier than what I have on TradingView, just to be aware of that. It's 43s is my value area low on NinjaTrader. Slightly different data, clearly. Would I bid around 928? So, I mean, at the moment, you're in a slide, right? So there's an argument to be a buyer here. But, you know, what I think you would rather see is something like that, a bit like you see here or here, right? Don't just bid there, because what happens if it slides all the way? We're just still in a range. Just, like, zoom out. All right, nothing's changed. This is where we are. This is the range, right? Nothing's changed. We get outside of this range, we can talk about breakout or fail breakout. At the moment, we're just in it. This is the environments like we talked about yesterday. I try and avoid when we're doing these. Let everyone else get chopped up, and then try and join once we've built them all in. All right, so sellers still getting aggressive at these lows. We're going to come and tap into. There's a 980 all the way up to 990. Sellers will want to defend that level if they are going to look for the value area low rotation. So we'll see if we can get a pop up and how we act here to give us an indication of what's next. And if they reclaim 990s, then they're trying to get that force back through the 320s, and then they try and get back towards the highs. And the SOXL suddenly just found a bid out of nowhere. So there you go. Fun market trading in the chop, isn't it? Fun, 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 fun. All right, there's the 90 pop. And there are sellers there. They want the rotation lower. I will join this if possible. I've just missed my entry there. I was being a bit greedy, wanting a bit more. First time we've seen a lower high set after a pop-up trapping buyers. They need a breakdown here now, though. And then we'd have to look for those 40s. And then under that, we can look down here to the low 900s. Under 900s, we can look at 750s. Under 750s would be a major crack in the market. So if you got that 90 short, which I'd missed, you want to be looking for follow through here. Here you go, into these 40s, into like, right, I will remind you, this is here for me on NinjaTrader, 43s here. All right, so this is your next cover point. That's a full rotation. If you got that, I just missed my fill there. How the fuck did I miss a fill there? But I did. Okay, there's your cover point. So that's TP hit on that. God damn it. Nice, some of you got it. Well, that's good to see. Some of you got it. So 50-point trade there, quick 50-point trade. And you can hold runners to see if you get the 900s now, which would be current week value area low. Previous day low would be all the way down here, and we have a put wall down here. It's possible we come down to this. All right, if they find acceptance under this, it's possible we do this move. If they're just going to keep rotating, we're going to see exactly what we've done so far. We're going to just continue to see this. All depends how they want to use the liquidity. See if Tanuki replied to me here. Give me a second, folks. Good old Greg. Good dude. He is a good dude. Divergence with ES, yeah, but you should be watching the semis, right? They will give you a good indication right now. All right, so why did we find weakness? Because these slid. All right, these lost the bid at the high volume. And they've come down into this. And if they continue to slide, we've got these to aim for. All right, if they're in a sell-off. I don't know if they're going to continue to slide, but that's what we're watching right now. Until these find a bid, the Qs will struggle. Here you go. So your runners now. So you're looking for this next grey box, and then you're looking for 877s and then 750s, basically. And I need to find a way of getting involved. That's what I need to do. Big buyers down there just got caught. Huge buyers just came in there, and they are in big problems right here if they can't recover. You can see this at the lows. Big buyers down at 950s. They're in trouble. They are in trouble if we hold the print under them. I've got a random print on my Ninja Trader here. Let's check that level. 76. Yeah, that's all right. All right, your runners are going to go for you. So grey box next target. Basically the 900s and then the lows. You look really good, folks. SOXL absolutely dumping. So chips staying heavy here. Mag starting to get heavy here as well. Microsoft the only one holding up here. Software starting to catch a bid, like we talked about. Rotation out of semis. We get bid in software now, hopefully. So Oracle up over 3%, which is what we were looking for this morning. I literally just talked about it in the pre-market. If we start to rotate out of semis, we probably get a bid in software. Okay, so you're looking for pops to remain being sold here. 950s is a big over-under. You have had huge buyers come in here. They are underwater at 950s. All the time you stay heavy under that. We have an auction to finish here at 928 from this morning, which we can go and repair that low. And then I think you can come into this. So I'll be watching these 50s here. Ideally 50s reject. If 50s don't reject, they can come and lift towards 70s again. What's this top side? Yeah, 70s. You don't want to bid over 70s now. So this is your value area low now hit. Your targets have hit. You're just runners only now. And I would say just stay sell side on this unless it starts to recover 70s at the moment. More buyers coming in here at the lows. Very aggressive buyers trying to bid this low. I don't think they're going to end up very happy. I don't think they will just rip this back up. I would imagine they'll wash these guys out first. Here you go. So they're trying to get the wash. It's about to happen. They should come all the way down to 10s now and fill this liquidity. Here they come. So I'm leaning on these buyers now. Fuck these buyers. They're idiots trying to bid that aggressively down there. So I'm short here versus those 50 guys. I'm going to repair this low at 28. See if I can get a bit off here. Still didn't repair that low at 28. So that low is from 824 this morning. You might be, why are you shorting the lows? It's because these guys are stuck. I won't give it room. How are we not repairing that low at 28? Come on. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. There's no way we don't trade under 28. There's no way. It's coming. They're being very silly right now. Get out the way, mate. There's no way we don't repair that. Get out the fucking way. 3, 2, 1. Give it to me. 3, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Repair that low for me. Thank you very much. Okay. So a little bit off here and we're just hold now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There we go. That's better, isn't it? All right. So we'll look for previous day low now. We'll watch this. So blue line here is current week value. And then down into this. And then if we get lucky, we can get down into Globex if we get very lucky, if they continue to sell. But we're probably due a response here. There's the response. Okay, there we go. This is why we pay ourselves. And I'm out now, and I'll watch 70s. If they come up to 70s, I will watch to see how we act. So lent on 50s, paid myself at that low, just a small 20, 30 point scalp. And we'll see now. Big buyers, all right, this is who I lent on, these guys, these absolute nutcases, when we had to repair these guys here. So we'll see now. If they hold a bid over 70s, certainly if they get back through this, we can think about getting long. But until that point, I don't really want to be long yet. Not until we see a response. There is a lot of buying down here. So flat now, and now we just wait. Here's VWAP. SOXL's got a long way to price up just to sort of balance out his morning sell. So I'm waiting to see 70s. And what is our point of control? It's going to be so hard to bid this. 70s bid could get you to 30,000. A bid over 30,000, we have room. A bid over 30,000, we have room. Otherwise, I'm not convinced that this is done yet. There is big buying at these lows. They are now comfortable, these buyers. And we'll see how we act up here. So Excel getting hit? Yeah, it's been getting hit all morning. It's actually in a pullback right now, retesting the 10s. And it can afford to come up higher. It's been in a big sell like we talked about. That's why we were leaning on this market. Okay, here comes the test of 30,000. So if they hold this level and bids back into 70, I'm willing to bid on it. If this is just a rebalance which is sold into, I'll sell it. Because it's a range. So we've gone value to value. If we think about what we've done, value area high to value area low, back to the mid. This is point of control from the current week. Right, we missed this. I traded some of this down here just because it became obvious that those buyers were going to get hurt before they got their way. And now we wait. Alex, you're a superstar. As a former HS high school chemistry teacher, thank you for all you do. You're welcome, my friend. Thanks for all you do. Teaching kids the futures of tomorrow, man. And we need smart kids out there. Get them off their dumb phones. Watching HS TikToky or any of these manosphere twats. Okay, there's the reprice to 30,000. Now, I would say buyers want to hold the bid into 70 now. If they can't do that, they'll be in trouble. Strength coming into the ES here. So I want to see if this pull back and hold a bid or if they sell it. I'm flat right now, like we said. I'm waiting to see how we act at 70s now. Why do I have two previous day value area lows? Like I said, this one was what I was getting on the Trading View data. This is what I was getting on NinjaTrader data. It was just giving me divergent, like slightly different, so I put both on just so that I knew there or thereabouts that they became important. Okay, here's back down to the 70s. Now buyers will need to bid this, and if they don't bid this, and certainly if they lose 50s, all those buyers will be very, very upset. So if the next push fails 30,000, that's going to be problematic. And we can chop and chop and chop here. I'm going to have to go and get a tissue in a moment. Sellers stepping back in. I'm not going to bid this. Too dangerous. I think there's a chance we rotate lower now after what I've just seen. So see if there's a way of getting re-involved if they come back under 50s. As I missed the 30,000 sell. So we're failing current week point of control. The big buyers, remember, are in at 50s. We start losing 50s, they're going to be very upset. I've showed you those buyers. Here's the 50 test. If we come under this in the opening range, they're going to get absolutely whacked. So this is a big moment now. It's a big decision. We have all these guys down here, big boys down here, who are very, very aggressive. And they got aggressive at the high into this node. And if they lose the bid here, they get washed out. They need to support the bid here. I'm not going to buy this right now. It's too dangerous to be bidding down here. For me, for how I like to play. Maybe some of you are just trying to trade the range, the rotation. Maybe some of you bid value to point of control. Maybe some of you will bid point of control to previous day point of control and previous day value area high. It all makes sense to me. I'm going to try and avoid this while we make a decision in here for a bit. I'm going to let it do this. And I'm either going to trade this, 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 or this. All right, but what I'm not going to do is trade this right now. I'm going to get a tissue here, folks, because my nose is snuffly. I'll be right back. Remnants of the flu from last week. Right, the buyers should have held 70s. They didn't, so they held their average price at 50s, which means all we've done is add buy-side delta at 50s. I reckon if I come down to 50s here, I reckon there's quite a bit. It's actually surprising it's sell side. That is surprising. Don't see how that's happened, but apparently it is. Is that right? Is that right? Why is it not giving me that? I have to check that out. I wasn't printing that then. We're not going long. If you want to go long here, like I said, it makes sense. I've just talked about that. For you guys who are range traders, it makes sense. That's your TP1, that's your TP2, that's your TP3, and then that's TP4. For me, I just want to wait and see what we do, because what I don't want to get caught in is this if I'm going long. I'm going to let it build out liquidity here. All right, and then make a decision. We are in a look. I'll say this over and over again. I do not trade range well. Okay, my stats of trading range are very, very poor. I hate trading range. Why? I'm a momentum trader. Right? I like trading momentum in front of me. I like trading very, very obvious liquidity runs. This, all right, is a rotation. It might well rotate back. I struggle bidding here. I know it's a low risk. I know it's 950s. I can see them. But my concern right now is this break here. So until I see them build out sufficient liquidity and move above that liquidity, I personally am going to avoid it. It does not mean you need to do the same. You absolutely do not need to do what I do. But I restrict my trading so much in range days. These are very different to trading days. These are like tiny, tiny numbers for me compared to expansion days, I should say. Trading days for me, expansion days. An expansion day is coming. We've been here for 2 or 3 days. Believe me, there's an expansion day coming. And when that happens, Alex will be hitting it hard. Alex, your momentum trades would be considered an imbalance in the market. Correct. Yeah, right now we're in balance. If we think about, very simply, a profile, right now we're in this, aren't we? Because we're doing this. But if we're thin, if this is the profile on the week and on the day, roughly. Okay, so let's just pretend we're like, wee, all right, and then thin. All right, so I want to trade the imbalance part where I go, hey, everyone who's a buyer in here is stuck. We come underneath, we test it, we sell. Not necessarily at this level, it's just an example. Right, where would that be? Majorly, that would be, if we look at the H1, where it would really be, is underneath this, and certainly underneath this 750. At the moment, this is the level we talked about. This is our RBS zone. If we lose that, we come back into, the problem with this trade, why it's hard, is we come back into a 2-week balance underneath. So we're in balance here, aren't we? We can't find acceptance below, and we're not finding acceptance above. So when we're in balance, the best trades are short the highs, buy the lows, all right? And then try and leave the mid. Right, Alex got distracted, and here's the acceptance. Okay. Alex got distracted. All right, ES coming back up to fill its back to its gap fill from yesterday's close. We're at value area high for the session already. Semis do not look like they want to move yet. So buyers are starting to take control of the current session. You're into midpoint of the current session. Buyers will want pullbacks to hold 95s now. They will not want to lose 95s after doing all that work. No, it's all right. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's not your fault. All right, so we'll see if they hold 95s and this grey box. If they fail to hold this grey box, all right, then they can't complete the rotation back up. This can still be a two-leg that fails. So the danger is this play here is available. The danger is this play here. All right, that's the danger. That's why I get spooked playing these right now. And I'm not... SOXL is breaking down. There's no way I'm long in this. SOXL's new lower day. There is absolutely no way I'm long in this. Even if it holds it, I don't care. SOXL new lower day, I am not getting long in queues when that's happening. Massive divergence. So low of day SOXL, high of day ES. No, thank you. No, thank you very much. No, thank you very much. So ES, high of day, SOXL, lower day. All right, no, I'm not trading NQ long with that. Too risky. You're going to get fucking jammed in one. Remember, this is current weak point of control. This is the chop zone. This is the chop zone. And MAG's breaking out. Yeah, they're equally weighted up 0.5%. This might it might start to happen, like we talked about. We might start to get the rotation out of the semis into some of the broader names, which is what the market needs. It fucking needs it, man. It really needs it. I think we're in for a choppy morning. I think we will get a move outside of all this. It's whether it happens today or tomorrow, but it will happen. Come to see the flow zone, not the chop zone. Tell me about it, mate. Tell me about it, my friend. All right, I'm going to keep remembering those buys at 50s. They are what matters. Here's the 70s test. I'm not going to buy this because of what I'm seeing on SOXL. I don't care what happens. I'm not buying this. It can fucking rip faces. I'm going to eliminate my risk. I think there's more chance we break down here than rip up just because of what's happening on the semis. And I'll wait to see what happens. If we come under 50s, they're all going to be stuck. We've traded back inside your 15-minute range in this chop pool. I want to see what happens under here. If we can't come under there and stay heavy, I'll short. If we come up there, down there, find a bid, and SOXL finds a bid, maybe I'll consider a very cheap long, which I really struggle to do. Anchored volume profile. 2 ticks, anchored to 930. I have it to 2 ticks. If you don't have tick data, use it to 1,000 bars. That's all that you need to change. Nothing else changes. Chop, 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 chop. It's just like yesterday. This smells like a problem. It's a build out. Do you remember yesterday we talked about knowing what you're good at and what you're not good at? I talk about it all the time, don't I? The book, Golf is Not a Game of Perfect. Great book. Easy to listen to. Silly book in many ways. But it's basically saying, if you can get around the golf course with an 8-iron, get around the golf course with an 8-iron and a putter. Stop getting the Big Bertha out when you don't have the skills to use the Big Bertha. Okay, so I like getting the Big Bertha out because it's my A+ trade when we're leaving trap volume on a higher time frame. If I get my Big Bertha out on a range, I will have a red day. And then I'll go on tilt because normally in ranges, you'll take a lot of stops because it would stop you out 3-4 times before it goes, and then I'll lose accounts. Right, so what I do is I put my Big Bertha away. I've got a cigar. I'm waiting for the sun to come out, and I'm waiting to get my 8 iron out again. There you go, Bertha on a wide fairway, not a tight course. There you go, exactly. Big Bertha, old school golf. Yeah, it is. But you all know what I mean, don't you? It's what's the new big driver? Leave your ego at the parking lot. There you go. Exactly that. Same thing in trading, right? Ego will not get you paid in trading. It will absolutely guaranteed make you cry, though. QI35. Drivers have crap names now. Do they really? I like the old names, the old Big Bertha. All right, chopping the grey box. SOXL's trying to find a bid at these lows. 210s is still that put wall number 4. Inside that, if it can find a bid, it can come all the way back up and reprice up towards 17s. But at the moment, it's struggling to do that. What are we doing on Meta? Meta looking good. I'm just going to check my swings here. Give me a second, folks. Oh, IONQ holding up well again. Relative strength in that sector, which is great. Do I need to pay myself? You's pissing me off. Not going. It will not go. Every time it looks like it's going to go, it doesn't. Tough trade. Just got to hold that. Everything else looks good. Yeah, we're up like 37% now on IONQ. It's a nice trade. All right, here it goes. SOXL needs to hold a bid over these 10s now. If it can hold over 10s, if it really wants to revisit midpoint, I'd be watching 14s and 17s here. So if you took that, congrats. I avoided that because of what's happening on the chips. They're now starting to find a bid. And they're going to come up to here, which is current value area high. Acceptance over 22s. You come and test previous day point of control and the gap. And over that, I could argue they get going. But all the big players down here now are very comfortable. And we've got thousands of lots been bidding down here. We ran them out and then they've held. And we come to the top side of this now. And they can still do this. I'm going to have to wait for acceptance outside of all of this. I'm going to have to be very, very, very patient. Q's coming to PDC here. A little imbalance up here. Do I always want a pullback to get in? I mean, it's always nice when it does it, but you don't always get it. If we're breaking away from volume, I won't necessarily take the pullback. I can take the break. We're currently not in a trending environment, right? There's nothing trending about this week. Fail break. Fail break. Midpoint. That's all we are. Above here, we're very thin. We can come and reprice all of this. Below here, in a New York session, if we reject, we can reprice this. In here, I'm going to do my best to avoid it. My best possible to avoid it. For me personally, again, you don't have to trade like me. I know where I'm strong and I know where I'm weak. And I try and stick to that. My edge comes from taking less trades, less favorable trades. All right, previous day point of control tagged. So they might flush right the way back down to 20s now. This is the level. They should bid 20s. If they lose 20s, they come right back down to 30,000. Exactly. Market's been open for 40 minutes. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Whole day ahead of you. Here it goes, testing the 20s. Now, if they don't bid this, we come inside range for the day and we probably come 30,000 again. And the rotation will continue. So this is why I avoid it. I mean, for me, like if you're trying to trade trend out of this, you'd be going absolutely bonkers right now. So under 20s, 30,000 coming up. If they lose the bid at 30,000, they're going to come to the bottom side of that node, which is 70s. It's tough, man. It's very tough to pull the trigger in a market like for me. It's very tough to warrant pulling a trigger in a market like this. Can see both sides of the trades constantly. ES into that gamma level, high volume level, 525, or sorry, 535, holding up there. SOXL putting its first high low here on an M5 after breaking out. So it's got a shot here if it's willing to hold those 11s we talked about. And they are trying. If they can hold this, I would be watching those 14s and 17s if you're actively trading those. It's a good hold on ES. ES is looking far more bullish. What have we got open today? There you go, healthcare. Healthcare and energy. There's the rotation. Out is semis, into healthcare and energy, relative strength in ES. That's exactly why. SOXL doing it. That's a good high low on that 5 minute. They've got the chance to set a squeeze here on that. They're going to have to get through the 14s. I think 14s is a big level. Through 14s, there's a chance they revisit 17s. That's the level right now I'd be watching. Here's the 14 test. Here's the squeeze. There you go. There's the lift. That feels like news as well. The book just cleared out, completely cleared out. What's this going to sell? What's the bet? We check the news now and it's peace deal done or something. There's 17s. Look how quickly that moved. Held the 10s or 11s through the 14s. There's 17s on the semis. So 17s now hit. And pulling back off 17s. It's fun, isn't it? It's fun. Who likes trading these ranges? Not me. Not me. You guys are mental. You guys are absolutely mental if you like this, but that's just my opinion. Saw the hold of 11s and went bang. Yeah, there you go. I mean, look at ES. Woo! This thing's absolutely ripping faces. We on a ripper right now. Still waiting to see what this headline is. US-Iran reach agreement in 60-day MOU to extend truce. But it needs Trump's approval. Okay. There you go. Agreement achieved. I said it's going to be that. We knew it was going to be that. Look at that ripper. Jack the Ripper. Okay, how can we trade this now? We can now look for a pullback. We're going to have to wait for a pullback into here or here to hold. If we're going to see extension, I want to be very careful to sell the news event, but if we can see a pullback start to hold here, I am interested in the continuation long now that we've done the damage. Just want to make sure we don't get a sell the news event here. ES taking out previous day high, coming back inside. So I'll see if we can hold here in towards these 120s, maybe even down here if needed. The problem is if Trump comes out and says, I haven't approved it, which is what they've just warned of. So we'll look now to see if they're willing to hold this to do this move here now. This is what I'm going to look to see if they come back in and hold this. All right, any sellers that get caught here, I want to try and buy their pain. If we come back under here, there's nothing to do. That will be a lack of acceptance. Yeah, this is now current week as well. If we come all the way back in, there's nothing to do. We'll see here. Starting to perk my interest into these levels here. So let's see if we can trap sellers in and around here and look for something like this for the upside move now. Now that we have momentum. All right, starting to see it now. Seller at 150. Let's see if we can squeeze through this. Starting to put some risk on here now, fellas. So I'm long off that opening range of 15s, and we'll see if we can lift through the 50s and the 60s. And I'll start to add if we start to hold and base. Here we go. It's looking good. There's through the 50s. There's a seller at 60. They're trying to refresh here. A little pullback that holds. I'll add in again. I'm not going to take profit. I'm looking for a big move up now. Now that we've done the built the liquidity out, I want to try and get all the way up here into 220s if possible. So see if this pullback holds this little imbalance at 50s. Can you hold this for me to add? Yep, added in. Hopefully we don't flush me out back down to the orb now. Do not want to lose this imbalance. Don't lose this imbalance. Oh, you absolute cretin. Come on. Need to get back above the 50s here. So much liquidity to fill up at 80s. Coming back down towards my core now because I've added. I will reduce size here if I have to. Yep, reduce size. I'll have another go at this if it holds. Book's getting very thin here in this little block here. Did you just wash me out to reduce my size to then go? You did. You prick. Right, need to see it back through to 150s, 160s. I'm back in with size again now. Just have to be very careful with my core. Here we go. Second attempt. Let's get through these 60s and just send it to 20s now. Here we go. Sorry, fellas. And ladies, I should say. Reduced my size into that grey box. I didn't want to get caught in a nasty flush. So 60s, we should fill up to 80s here and then go 220s. Buyers at these highs. You can pay yourself some if you want. I'm trying to hold on to myself. Very aggressive buyers at these highs. Don't want to see that without moving higher. Get going up to 80s and 220s now. Come on. Because Alex has been adding. The refresh seller at 65. I'm just going to let this work now. I'm letting it work. Hands are off the mouse. 220s, please. Let's go. Let's go. Just move my stop into the money and relax. Keep refresh selling up here. Hey, jumpy tape. Jumpy tape. Check the cues here. Where's that cool wall? We just held it. We should be going higher now. We held the cool wall on QQQ. I hope they don't need to do a drive down here before they bid up. Got to get over this here at 60s. That's where the refresh seller is, 60, 65. Just concerned about a dunk back down here before it goes to trap more sellers in, and they can come deep. Each one saying, what's that wick there? 12s, that's what we held. Where's the bar? 55s. I don't want to hold 55s. I'll reduce again here on the second attempt. I'm not adding anymore. I reduced again there in the money. Under this, we're going to come and visit 80s and maybe even that block. This is the problem right now. We've caught buyers at the highs, and they might need to catch some more sellers to get up further. So I'm back down to small core now again, because we can't get going through the 60s to the 85s. I didn't get my fill up there looking for 220s, which is what I'm looking for, this block up here. If they lose this, there's an argument to come into this imbalance, which I don't want to see us do, but it's possible. SOXL struggling as well. Do I take this off? I don't have a choice. Might take me out by itself into Globex. I need to be aware of a fail break. All right, if we can't hold above here, I'm now out of this at Globex. If we can't hold above there, it can be a fail break, which would be really gross on the hourly. I cannot believe we didn't complete that move there. And there we go. We're just trying to play from here to hold to do this. It's now failing this. If it fails this, we come back down in this again. That's what I'm very conscious of now. So I ended up losing, I can't remember what I was up before. I think 300 on that account. Ended up giving money back. I think I was up about 800-900 at one point. How are you blowing accounts while taking good trades? You've got to be oversizing if you're blowing accounts. You should not be blowing accounts if you're taking good trades. I know Trump didn't agree the deal. It doesn't matter. We have to play the structure in front of us. All right. News is a catalyst, but I play the structure. Structurally, at that point, all right, what had we done? We'd failed to break down the lows. We'd held the low. We'd broken out above. So I was trying to play the hold of this RBS zone to complete this move. Very simple. I was trying to play the structure in front of me. I'm not playing the headline. I'm playing the move after the headline. The structure's now failed, which is why we take it off, because if we fail this now, there's an argument to do this move again. So I can show you the damage done was like about $100 or something. I was up big, paid myself some. I think this was up almost $400 earlier. I can't remember, but given some back on that account. It is what it is. And if you're asking why am I not trading all the accounts, because we're not in pro trend. So when we're not in pro trend, I don't link them all together. It's as simple as that. 940 guy insider trading. I would imagine so, yes. Buying those lows like that with that much size, I would imagine so, yes. I would imagine so. All right, if we can reclaim value, there's an argument for it again, but otherwise, oh my God, this looks terrible. That looks poor. All right, so remember we talked about the hold of 11s and the drive through 14s would get you to 17s. We've now failed 17s. We've come back to 11s or almost at 11s. This matters here, whether they bid out of it or not. It's tempting to have another go here if we start reclaiming. What's that? Level of that buyer, he's at 10s. All right. I'll see. If we start reclaiming, I'm going to have another go. Lots of liquidity here. It's a good hold of value area high. I think we're going to do it. I think they just need to come deeper like I talked about. So let's see if we can get involved again. If we get through this grey box and hold, it's the same kind of story. Yeah, bids are coming back in now. So you just need to come deeper. I said if we can't hold this, we probably come here. Now we're back above value. We should expand value up to here again. So what I will look for now is one of these, basically, and I'll respect this. Please don't squeeze, otherwise I'm going to have to get involved. It'll be like third attempt. Well, second, third attempt at the same trade. Yeah, third attempt, because I reduced size, they got back in, reduced size again. We'll see now. See if they want to do something or not. They want to hold 100 here. They've made a little pivot here on Bookmap at 100. I'm interested. Here we go. Here's a test of 30s. Where does this node start? 40s. I'm feathering into this small on the way up in case it just squeezes out. If we can pull back and hold 10s and it shows me a good trap there, I will add with some bit more vigor. But I've started getting long into this. If we come under 10s, not really interested. Lemon squeezer, exactly, mate. Exactly, mate. So hold of 10s would be great to add. Otherwise, I want to see a base over. So we're starting to do the move I just drew out for you. Fucking Ebenezer, mate. There's a little sell side imbalance here at 40s, so expect a reaction there, which we're seeing. We'll see if we can hold these 10s. If we lose 10s, we're going to come straight back down to 93s. So that's why I'm watching 10s to see if they hold it. So Excel right in the middle of the range just to make me extra uncomfortable. Thanks very much, you piece of poo. Okay, here we go. Can we get through this imbalance now? Here we go, through the imbalance. Get through 40s. We've got to get through 40s. Rejecting that imbalance. And SOXL rejecting that last 5-minute wick. That is not pretty. We've got to get going here. Come on, buyers. Wakey, wakey, because I don't want to sit in this much longer if you're going to fuck around. The longer we're here without moving higher, the worse it's going to be. And we do have buyers caught above at 50. So I'm very, very aware of those. We've got to get back above all those buyers at 50s and 60s. And then we're very, very comfortable all of a sudden. Right, here we go. Back through this little imbalance. Get through the 40s, come and test 50s, break through the 50s and 60s, and then we're going to go 220s. Can you please hurry up so Alex can make some money? Thank you very much. Here we go. 50s. All right, if you want to pay yourself some, you can. I'm not going to. I'm looking for a big move here. I'm looking for these buyers to get back comfortable in the money. 50s, let's get through 50s and 60s and do a lemon squeezer, fucking geezer, up to 220s, please. Please. We are fucking doing for me. Yeah, I mean, it's the same. The thing is, it's exactly the same setup as we're looking for, right? So nothing's changed in terms of the setup. You see how strict I am. I can't remember where we got long. I longed, I added, I reduced size, I cut. I longed again, I added, I reduced size, I cut. Right? I didn't sit through this. I waited, I feathered back in, I've added, and it's the same setup, but I don't sit through pain. All right? If it doesn't want, because the risk is, right? If they wanted to do this for whatever reason, they can. So I'm not going to sit through that. But now we're going back up. What I probably should have done is just wait for retest of value and flow zones And this is good now. Over 50s, we break through 60s, and we should see 220s coming up, folks, if we can get through the 60s. This node here, 60, 65s, where all the buyers got a little bit caught. Here we go, team. Sorry, like, I can't control the market. I'm like, you have to control your risk. I can read the market. You have to learn to control your risk. Best loser wins. Yeah, exactly, right? You see how I try and add into my winners? I try and let them run, and when they start going against me, I take them off. Do not sit in pain. Add to the winners when appropriate. Cut the losers as quick as possible. As soon as that thing is not as quick as possible, but as soon as it's telling you that the trade has failed, just take it off. Do not let your ego get ahead of you. Right, if we get through 65s here, we should go 200, 220s. They keep refreshing. There is a refresh seller at 65. I've seen him numerous times here now. Keeps adding 50 lot filled, 50 lot filled, 50 lot filled. So there is a genuine seller up here. I think if we get through that, we are away. So if you've wanted to pay yourself some here, I do not blame you. Makes sense. This is where the buyers did get caught. But I think we've got a chance. You're telling me there's a chance? There's always a chance, right? If we can get through this. Where's C2? 270s. I mean, that would be nice. I'm just looking for this, really. And through that, I'm not going to rule this out, but it's not my main target. This is my main target. Let's just have a look what this pullback would give us of this swing. Okay, and let's think about this from the morning session. Yeah, this is my main target up here. They're all marked out pretty well. They line up pretty good. Iceberg seller, yeah, at 65, yeah. I mean, he probably is. I can just see him doing it manually. So if you're telling me you've got the iceberg detector on and he's an iceberg seller, then that's what he is. I can see him. He's manually reloaded a few times, 50 lots over and over again. Do not want this to let go 130s. We let go 130s, we can come back down to 10s again. That's not ideal. We need SOXL to get above the 17s and hold a print above that. It keeps failing PDC here and high volume level of gamma. If we can get above it, we get positive on the day, and that means we go into a buy dip, sell rip scenario on the chips. But I do not want to see it keep failing up here. Oh, you absolute clown show. I want to see this hold 30s. I do not want this to revisit 93s. Come on. Don't be cruel. Like I said, I wouldn't blame you for taking profit there at 60s. I'm trying to hold on to my core size. I might have to trim some if we come up there again. This is becoming a problem. Can't wait for him to not sign the agreement and it go back down again. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised even if they sign the agreement. Like I said, I think there's a Sell the News event coming. I don't know what that would be. Maybe it's the war event. Maybe it is not the war event. And maybe it's the new IPO, SpaceX and stuff like that. I mean, we're going to ask the market to absorb like $1 trillion plus in new IPOs. I mean, where's that money coming from to hold the bid on that? I don't know. I do not know. Still can't get through these 17s on SOXL. It's making me uncomfortable here. Oh, you fuck. You're going to come right back down, aren't you? Who would do this for a life? Why do we do this as a job? Stupid. Stupid. Stupid job. Investors have an average of 30% cash right now. Maybe, but like, doesn't mean you put... and which investors? Funds or retail? Who's absorbing the tape when you put Anthropic and SpaceX and everything else live? Who's got $1 trillion to stick in and absorb that price level? That's my question. Is that the sell the news event? Failing a little imbalance here at 30s. We've got to reprint over that now. So 65 held, that refresh seller there held. SOXL's coming for it now. It's going to try again to get through these 17s and a halves. We need it through that. It's very, very important that the market, the semis, get through that. All right, I'm watching this here. All right, we need this to play out. We get that, we're away. All right, because we've held the pullback. We build the liquidity. If this goes, we're away. It's what I'm really hoping happens. Here we go. You stop fucking around now, market. Right, 45s. 17s again. Please, can we lift? Banging my head on this brick wall up here at 45s and 65s. Yes, a little bit weaker here, but it's holding that 550 level. Right, 17s, 18s now. Good, SOXL. Now, spike up. How long we got left? Spike up and close this 5-minute candle high, please. Do not poke this and fail. Spiders weaker here. I really don't want spiders to come back down to VWAP. That will be a problem. Here we go. Get through this 45 and go through 65 and rip some faces. Please, market. I'm being very, very, very patient here. Okay, 45s. Please get through 45s. Nice, SOXL. Push, 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 SOXL. Oh, my God. Banging on the door. Banging on the door. Can't get through it. Can't get through it. Yeah. Thanks. ES lagging. I mean, I don't know if you'd call it lagging. It's weaker. It's relative weakness. They're coming back down towards VWAP and previous day high. SOXL banging on the door at 17s. It's through it, but it's not. If you look at that 5-minute, you're looking for a break above to complete this inverted head and shoulders. It's not breaking above. It's just poking the top side of the range and getting stuck. We need the options traders to be like, all right, cool, let it through. Let it through. We're just stuck in this grey box. It's not where we want to be stuck. We want to get above 45 and 65 and rip faces to 220s. That's what I'm positioned for. Moment, it doesn't feel like it wants to do it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No. Just waiting for someone to come in and do something. Thank you. And we're now making an awful shape here of lower highs and higher lows, and this is not what you want. We wanted to see that go. So I'm starting to feel more and more uncomfortable in this now. And we have imbalances below. If they want to come and fill all the way down at 85, let me close that door. There we go. It looks weak. Yeah, it's looking weaker. It is looking weaker. It's just tricky. We're above the open range, though. If they don't hold the 10s, I won't be holding it. Come on, get back above 52. Yes. There's 52s. You've got to get back above it. SPY, sorry. Here goes the SPY. I want to see this start to print now. They've done a lot of hard work here. Here goes new 5-minute bar here on SOXL. Looks better. Looks good for the break here. Come on. I'm really not taking profit here. Here's 45s. Get through the 65s, please. I've been so flipping patient here. Okay, here we go. Sticking to the thesis. It held the 10s. SOXL now approaching 19s. If you want to take profit in 65s, I totally understand. I'm not doing that. I'm looking for the IB high in 220s. I'm looking for a squeeze out of the day's high to get to 220s. Maybe I'm being greedy. It's possible, folks. You don't have to follow me. It's just what I'm looking for. I think it's a plausible move here. Oh my God. Refresh seller, fuck off. Please. Some buyer just go and wipe him out, please, at 65. He's pissing me off now. I don't want to go on tilt, but you need to fuck off, son. Get out my way. Oh my God, this guy. Oh, do I move my stop up a bit? I'm going to have to move my stop up a bit. I've got to move my stop up a bit. Yeah. I've had a few attempts now. Yeah, it's 65, mate. Like I can show you him on the book. He keeps coming in. It's this guy here. Like I said, I wouldn't blame you for taking profit. All right, so every time we visited up here, he started loading the boat, sell side. All right, and we have buyers caught up here. So if we think about these guys are caught. Some decent size, 300 lot there, another 235 lot there, 130 lot there, and probably another 100. You can see as we came up, he got filled. All right, and he had put some on here, he juggled it, he added more, he added more. All right, we came up again, he added more, he added more, he added more, and he moved down to try and get filled here as well. So he's a genuine seller up there. He's a genuine seller up there at 65. And we just see, like, if we can't break through him, then these buyers remain trapped. Right, and we have to respect that. Yeah, you definitely don't want it under this guy here. It's like I said, 10s. You do not want it under 10s. This seller's got to stay stuck. And you just want to lift through these guys now. See, they're adding liquidity now. 50s. You want, see what we just saw their sell side? We want that buy side. We want these guys to, you want this guy to come up. Support the bid. Get through the 65. So we want to get through this guy now here. So 55. So we've got to get through 55s. I would say through 55s now, we will squeeze out. Because that's where they sold heavy. So here's the 55. If we get through that now, we'll squeeze out. This is the level. Why? Because if we just think about this, this is the block. Right? This matters now. We've got to get back inside this and go. Here we go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I don't want to see you refresh selling there again, you fucking asshole. Pardon my French. I've got a potty mouth. Stop it. Stop it, you. Get out the way. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Go, 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 go. Boner candle, give it to me. 220 in one go, please. Please stop this pain for me. So patient and patient and patient. If you don't pay me for being patient, I'm going to be upset. It's a good hold of 50s there. It needs to go now or I'm out. It's got to go now or I'm out. You got to go. You got to do it. You got to do it. 65 should get us higher day. Higher day should get us 200, 220. Oh my God, this fucking guy. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Go. Go. Here we go. All right, here we go. Lift, 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 all the way up. Fill all these guys. Thank you very much. Here we go. Print, 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 print. All right, we need to get through the buyers who are now caught through the 60s. The next buyer to let out is 76s. Then we've got imbalances overhead all the way up into 220s. Fuck for that. We're starting to get paid. Hello, Luna. She got worried there. Come and say hello. You want to come and say hello? It's working, Luna. We're getting paid. We're getting paid. Here we go. 180s. New high day coming. IB high here. If you want to take some profit here, it makes total sense. Here we go. You're my lucky charm, Luna. There is a seller at 80s. You can take some profit up here. If you've got size on, it makes sense. Don't be a dick for a tick. I think we should go. You want to hold 65s now. 65 and 55s holds. You do not want to let go of that hard work that you've just done here. This needs to hold this pullback. I need Bookmap to stop jamming there. There we go. Right, you want them to support the bid here. 65 to 55 needs to be supported. And then you want a 180, 185 break. And then we're looking for 220s. Here we go. It's a good support there on the bid. Still in this. Still looks good. Move my stop up. Hang on, Luna. You want to go down? Go down if you want. Oh, and there we go. Here comes the trap. I reckon they send this back up. Just ran my size out, didn't you, you fucks? Value very high. I reckon they support this to get back up again. I'm now out because they just ran my size out. You arseholes. Well, at least I paid myself a little piece. I don't think we're done with this. I think if you're still holding this, I think you're still probably good. So here we go. Look. So we added a few more winners here. Not a huge lot. I think this is one that was 200 and I added a bit on the next one as well. It's a trap. Well, I think we've still got a chance to move higher. Let me see the auction high day. That is 110 still the level. I think all the time they're holding 10s, it's still okay, which is basically the grey box. This. Remember, this wasn't put in from today. This is a, again, think about the H1. I'm going to come back to it. Think about this. Think about what we're trying to do. We're trying to see this move here, right? Why? Because we're now outside of this. This is still possible. I'm only looking for this. Yes, it can come all the way up here if it wants. If you're still holding size and you were able to stay and didn't move a stop up, makes sense. If I'd paid myself more here, I'd be up even more. But I do not think this is done. All right, I really don't. I think this is where we want to come. They're just being buggers with it. This is, I think they're trying to do this. And this might have got even more shorts involved, which is what you actually need. You want to recover 65s. Let me just check the actual book. Where did that big boy buyer come in? 60. You got to get back above 60. Over 60s, you're good again. Bollinger Bands have narrowed, probably, but I don't look at them on a lower time frame. Not interested on a lower time frame. Only use them on the dailies, personally. You could say that we hit 2 standard deviation on the VWAP. We did do that this morning as well. But, you know, the longer we're here, the more chance it's got. What I'd say is, though, if you lose the 20s and 10s, there are imbalances to be filled right back down to 90s and 86 down to 77, which wouldn't be very nice if you are still low. Didn't get stopped out still in with size. Well, I really hope it works for you, my friend. You need this to stop playing around down here. You see, we're at the 17s. Will it load? These 17s, what I keep talking about. Once this goes, once you get a print above the New York Open, all right, then we're green on the day, right? This is your previous day close. You get this move here. This becomes available on a squeeze. Oh my God, if you got that today and you're still sized in, you're going to laugh. And I would imagine there's a measured move to be had here as well if they can get the break. Yeah, it looks good if they can get the break. So I hope it goes for you now, because if you're still in this, you've been very patient. Here we go. They're coming to test this guy at 60s again. Back, look at all the liquidity. You probably can't see it. They are adding lots of liquidity above now. All right, so if we think about, we're trying to get these breaks through 80s, but look who's now on the book, just turned up. 200, remember our target is 220s, 200 to 220s. Look at all the liquidity that's turned up. All right, so they know that's the target. They know that that's possible. People are looking at the same thing as me, as in these are buyers trying to sell up here. It's just whether we can get through this 160 now. Again, it's the same pivot as here, isn't it? Look. This is the level. We've got to get back through that. To the downside, you want to be very careful because we're building a bit of a... this hasn't been stopped. There's no stop run on this yet. So I'll be very careful. They could fail this, run the stops, come back for it later if they want to be dirty. To make that make sense on here, right? What you want to see if you're still long is this. If you don't see that, what they'll do is run the stops and come back for it later. We always talk about that, right? When they build these like these in like this and they can't get the break, then what they do is they shove it down, shorts chase in, and then they come back for it and use those stops to go higher. Hopefully it doesn't do that for you. Hopefully it just goes in one go, because I don't want you guys to sit through any more bullshit. I think we've been very patient sitting through enough today as it is. That's me just being honest with you. And I will get back in if we start basing above everything. All right, SOXL looks good now. Really good. If you can get pushed through 220 on that, you are game time. What do I think of ES? Well, you got relative weakness on ES, but you know, it's above previous day high. It's above its gamma level. It's above its VWAPs. Oh, ES isn't above previous day high. SPY is. It's basing out. I mean, it's the same thing. This looks great now. Any print that holds above here, you should send it. You should get high of day now. They really shouldn't fuck around anymore. You've done a lot of work. You should get the high of day shove. 65 break. You should get that 80 move and then 220s, which was our target. Another big buyer coming in here. Here it comes. You're going to get it after washing me out. That was the trap, that little flush candle we talked about, which knocked me out. So if they hold 65 here, 65 to 55 hold, you should get a higher day break. I think it's exactly the same as we talked about, I don't know, 5 minutes ago before it flushed me out. SPY looks good now as well. Here you go, folks. It's coming. It's a coming. It's a coming for you. Congrats those who held. It's a coming. Grey box is your target above. So IB high, a break of that should get you to the grey box. Yeah, Iran Supreme Court leader has not accepted the deal. I mean, at this point, I give up. Alex Trade printing again. Oh, thanks so much, guys. Thanks so much. You guys are so kind. It was news candles and that drop in price. Probably, but like these are what we use for the traps. Big news candles, like I said, held this grey box, didn't it? Held the grey box. Did you see a break under? No. So what do? Now you've got lots of sellers in that. And hopefully you get this. This stop run here should get you up to here. That would be my first target. If you want to hold runners, 270s and then all-time highs. But 220s, I would say like IB high, 185, 200, 220s, 270s. Those are the main targets. Look at Bookmap above me. You're now starting to hold above that 160. You're starting to absorb above this sort of 160 level. That's a good sign for a move higher now. You're going to get it. Here it goes. 180 break coming. New high of days coming, folks. They just absorbed 160s. If they don't do this, I don't know what to say. They've done so much hard work for you here. It's a shame I'm not still in this with size, because I would be up very big. Is my paid course similar to how you teach on YouTube? Well, it's 20 hours, the beginner to advance, in a very structured method way of learning. And then the order flow course, the same, 6.5 hours structured, very, very structured way of learning. YouTube is not a structured way of learning, is it? I can only teach you what I'm seeing in front of me at the exact given day. H1 candle strong, that's it. That's it. We're in breakout outside of value now. Why did I suddenly become interested in the market? It's because the H1 and because the market moved outside of value. Here's the chart. Here's the move outside of it. So we are now in what? We're in expansion, which is what Alex likes to try and trade, right? To obvious targets. Right, because now think about who's in here. A lot. There's a lot in here now. So ideally, we're going to get up to some of these levels now. So we leave the sellers in here caught. We expand up. This could be the spring. We expand up. We take profits. We don't know if we're going to get all the way up here, but here's the high of day coming. There's your IB. Congratulations, you people. Just take all my hard work and make money from me. Oh, look, I didn't even realize Tanuki suddenly came back online, the M1. I'm just going to let Greg know. You're welcome, guys. Yeah, like pay yourself a bit into IB high. It makes sense. I think you should get higher. If they leave a double top here, it's so nasty. What's the wick on that? You're like one tick short of the IB high. We always say, don't be a dick for a tick. I still think you want up here. Again, if I was you, I would protect 160 now. Why? Because that's where the buyer came in. All right, these buyers here. And this buy here, and you can see the delta here, 160. You want 160 to hold. If they lose 160, they're going to come right back down to the 30s again. And you don't really want to give back like 50, 60 points, do you? So I'll be looking for 160 to hold here if I was you. Yeah, SOXL, like we said, through the 17s, 220. It's got potential for a high of day break now, and then it can start going 225, 230. And the big... 230 and 240 are absolutely on deck with a high day break today. And that will help this lift, won't it? Because that's what we're watching. That's where the strength's coming from. That's why we've been watching it for a while. Alex, do you know why my stop loss and TP on NinjaTrader doesn't show the amount? You would need to click. What's it show? It will either show you tick points, percent, or the amount, and you'd need to change it. I don't use... Here you go, there's a high day. So congrats, you're now looking for 220s. You're looking for this grey box. All right, so pay yourself some here, pay yourself some here. Hold your runners to see if you get 270 or all-time highs. Congrats, everyone. Nice work. Yeah, that's it. Get the P&L decorator indicator online. Yeah, there's loads in on the NinjaTrader community. You can have a look for free. There's loads that would do it with an ATM if that's what you're talking about. So they instantly print it. Or what I use is affordable indicators. Here you go, folks. The squeeze is on here. SOXL is going for high of day. Through that, it's going to go 225, 230, and this thing will rip faces if you do that. Oh my God, it had to knock me out on that, didn't it? Alex would be up very, very big now. All right, 200 here, grey box coming up. You want to pay yourself some into this, in case I keep having to repeat myself a million times, but you want to pay yourself some into this. And it's possible we can actually lift this to that H1 high. What's this little area here? There. Yeah, into these. Top of grey box. Pay yourself in the grey box and then run us for all the way up here if possible. Congrats, everyone. W's in chat if you got that. Fantastic. It took some effort. It took some effort today. It took patience, didn't it? There's an imbalance here, and you're into like maybe 2 standard deviation of a VWAP, I would imagine, somewhere here or hereabouts. Based on how we've moved away from this, it's probably here or hereabouts. So this is definitely a good region to take profit. And we have imbalances above. All right. So 1 imbalance, 2, 3, 4, all these imbalances. So this is TP1. And then we'll see how far you can lift now. Yeah, nice. Great to see the W's in chat. Nice work, for team. Not once did I tell you to get short once we started breaking out of all of this. And look at the difference in the flow zones now, supporting the bid as well. All right, so we were in sell this morning. In a range to bottom side of the range. We came up to the top side of the range. We broke out that range. We came down and tested that value, we held value, we reclaimed the H1 RBS, and now we're in a drift higher. We've confirmed bullish price or order flow for a retest of where we failed from on Wednesday. Is that Wednesday? Yeah. Felt like it was Tuesday overnight. Same. All right, and what's happening now is we can look for this, which is what we're playing lower time frame at the moment. This is why this is a TP. This is a TP. If we pull back in the next H1 or over the next day or two, we'll see if that holds, and then we'll look for a break higher. Or if we already pump up, we'll see if this holds for a break higher. And if this is sold into, this would be the bullish trap, and that will be the rotation of range again. And again, weakness comes under 750. I've said it every day on stream. It does not come before 750. It comes under 750. What is the grey box? It's basically where we did like a little stop start. You see this? Because we haven't got much to aim for up here. We did a little stop start. So if we think about what's happened, I mean, you're on the right chart. If we think about what's happened here in this drive up. Okay, so buyers stops, sold off, sold into them. All right, you can see this transition here became important, didn't it, on Wednesday morning. All right, that's where we sold Wednesday morning. We did this little juggle for 5 minutes and sold. Why? We left buyers caught overhead. So I know in here, if we go resistance, became support, became resistance. This is the area of interest for me because I know we reacted there, right? All I did is look left and went, okay, resistance became support, became resistance. Over here, we left buyers caught overhead, which is why we sold aggressively from there, right? For you that do supply and demand, it'd be drop, base, drop, wouldn't it? S&R, it'd be SBR, or it'd be RBS into SBR, same level. This is the level. That's why it matters right now. And if we get through that, you're going to go highs. And you're right into it right now. It's magic, isn't it? Looking left. No, I draw my boxes myself. Everyone asks that. How do I get the box indicator? $10 million and I'll build it for you. All right. Right, you got liquidity being added at 250 now, the whole number. Look at ES about to break out of the high of day as well. Look at SOXL approaching the 225s we talked about. It also has a bit of a grey box up here for me. So 225s is a big level here on SOXL. You should have paid yourself some, and now you're looking to see if you get all-time high now. And, well, I am now a very salty, bitter, bearded, going grey 40-year-old man. Is there another long or short? Joe, there's definitely no short right now, my friend. All right, because we're moving outside of value. All right, anyone playing short now, you know, think about the type of environment we're now in. Outside, just think about all of it. Think about all of it to stop you doing it. All right, where's your opening range? All right, we're outside of opening range. Where's your initial balance? We're outside of initial balance. Where's previous day's value? We're outside of previous day's value. Where's current week's value? It's actually here. We're outside of current week's value. All right, so there's no reason to get short. Any short now would be a counter trend pullback. All right, so any short now, if you're looking to time this short, that's the max move you're probably going to get. All right, to then rebid. I would leave that alone. That's the hardest trade in the book. The better short would be that, because that would be a failure. Otherwise, we're in. We built liquidity. Remember I said we'll build liquidity here. At some point, we will end up using it. There we go. We're using it. Okay, here we go. That's what I gave my team this morning. Where is it? Okay. This is the probable move today. Sideways. What happened when we got above it? All right. There we are. This is where we're going. Okay, now the counter trend would be back down into here. Otherwise, it's just going to keep lifting. There's no reason to fight the tape, is there? There's zero reason to fight the tape right now. I had that on the wrong channel, didn't I? Here we go. All right, that's what we gave the team this morning. Rotation. Hold above the rotation, print higher, target, grey box, 220s. Okay, if we fail here, it will be a counter trend pullback leg into value and the hold of it, won't it? We haven't seen this underneath here today. That's why it's the least thing that I expect. Right? No reason to fight the tape. Everything's going upside right now. Think about how many sellers. I tell you what, though, whoever said about these guys being insiders down here, I think you're fucking on the money. Right, thousands of lots bidding in here, and suddenly we get this break after the news. We should just look at that in future and be like, we're long with them. We don't even take their pay now. Am I looking for any more trades? I will, like, look, if we return back in, right, I'll consider what happens if we come back in here, somewhere in here, IB or any of this, and we want to do a little dance and trap, I'll consider that for the rest of the day. If we come in here, you want to be careful of that rotation after a failed break of a reprice. Otherwise, no, I'm not going to chase it up here at this point. I've had quite a few attempts today as well. There's a big buyer just got stuck up there, 100 lot at 40s, by the way. Where's the next TP? Or you came to top of grey box, that's your main TP, 270s, and then all-time high, 380s basically. Really, Willa, that was definitely an insider. No surprise there, eh? No surprise there. Had the chance to make 1,500, only got 200 because I got stopped in profit early. Oh, well, it happens, part of the game, mate. But 200 still good. Don't worry about it. If you stick to your process, as long as your stops are in good areas and you're doing good things, it will add up. Don't worry about it. Is Dixie in Bookmap? It will be, but it won't be under CME. You'd have to pay for other data. I love that my losses are now small profit nowadays. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, SOXL through to 25, so 230 next. Remember the big call walls Your second biggest call wall was 230. Your biggest call wall is up at 240. Your previous day high is just above 240. That's where it's trying to go. Like I said, it's got an expansion model now. It's got an expansion model up there now. Oh my God, IONQ is about to get over the 70s. Let's go. Let's go. If we base over 70s, it's still got over a 20% short float. If we base over the 70s, they are going to start covering and you will get a breakout here. Oh my God, 42% up on this swing. When did we put this swing on? Was it the back of last week or before? I mean, this is where I make my money, folks. Look at that on a swing. Thanks very much. I sold some more AMD yesterday because I was like, this can't keep going. There's my AMD swing. Let's go. Let's go. You've got 30 on IONQ. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, we are making money here on the swings. They are printing. The only swings that are down for me, Netflix is flat. My IGLT is slightly down, but I don't care because that's a hedge for me and I get paid on that. And it's only the longer term, the 5 years actually up. And U is down. Again, that's a bit of a hedge and a long-term play, but I might end up cutting that again if I have to. We are up biggity, biggity, biggity big in the swing accounts. They have been fantastic again this year. Cannot complain. You're up 277% on AMD. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. And I paid myself more yesterday. I've got barely any size left, but I was like, I've got to take the profit. I don't mind rebidding if we come back in, but it's just getting bonkers. It's getting bananas. If we came back to 200, would I enter? I mean, I'd want to see it come deeper at this point. I don't want to bid here really, where I know, like it might well do this, but I'd have to then risk down here. So at the moment, really, to be honest, I'd like it to come deeper. If I'm going to rebid, I'm aware we haven't swept any stops. I'd like it to come and visit some of these, maybe trap some more shorts before I think about getting long again. You know, the moves happened. Remember I said, like, this grey box is the target. So if my low-hanging fruit has gone, I'm less interested. It can keep going and going and going for you. I'm not going to bid here. You know how fussy I am, right? I need to see sellers get caught, turn around, hold a good level, trap the sellers, and then give room for expansion. That can very well happen, but what I'm not going to do is, like, bid here, looking for this, when it could fail this, and I'd have to risk down here. That it doesn't make sense to me to do that. Why didn't I re-enter, you said, before it hit the day's highs? Well, I'd already had numerous goes at it, hadn't I? So I think I'd had a go here. I added into the winner. I cut my call. I stopped out. Maybe I had another go here, and then I had another go here, and then got knocked out on this. Right? So now I've lost position because I was bidding down under here. So even if I re-enter here, at that point, 3 attempts, green on the day because risk management was good, lost core position. Yes, it ended up going, but what if it didn't? What if that was an emotional buy and we come and wash me out and I take, now I've got 3 attempts and my 4th attempt is a loss where I have to increase a negative RR because I get emotional. No, I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't fucking care. I'm up, 3,000 or whatever it is today. I don't care. It will give me another opportunity. I don't need to go again and again and again and again and again. The simple answer, why didn't I? Because I stick to my rules. I had 3 or 4 attempts at that. That is enough attempt at one setup Like, it's unfortunate it knocked me out on that flush, but whatever. I paid myself on the way. I'm not going to resize in. You know, rules be rules. They're there for a reason. You need to stick to them. You know, this time if I broke my rules, it would have paid me. Next time, maybe it nukes my account. You know. Alex, I almost blew my flex funded with our last trade looking for the 160 break. I was at minus 1,400 and bought it back to minus 350. I'm going to wait for the next trade. Thanks so much. Yeah, nice. Good recovery. Do you think QQQ is primed for a cool swing overnight, considering every after-hours session has been big up and over? What are your thoughts? So the first thing I'd say is you're looking for a pattern there that isn't there without even looking at QQQ. The expectation that, oh, it's done this, so it's going to do it again, is what gets traders in trouble. That's the first thing I'd say. Secondly, why are you going to take a swing overnight from Thursday to Friday? Have you checked the news? Have you checked the data? What's coming out? I haven't, so let's have a look now if you're going to take that swing. So that means overnight you're going to have to deal with Kashgar in South Korea, Schmidt speech, US trade goods, retail inventories, wholesale inventories, vice chair speech, and Paulson's speech, all before the market open, and that's without looking at Globex. And then you've got PMI early morning. So if you're going to take QQQ swings, all right, you're taking calls, are you? Why? So you're just taking a breakout call here, hoping for what? I mean, that's the only 0 DTE. We can go wider out. I would say a better position is here, isn't it? Right. So I wouldn't personally be doing that. I wouldn't be buying the all-time high, hoping to go higher with a call. I think that's. I don't think that's certainly not how I would trade. That's how I've never traded that way. Oh, you've been holding 1 DTE for 30 minutes. Well, if it's 0 DTE, don't you have to close it today anyway? I mean, 734 is your call wall 3 today. 735 is your call wall 2. They haven't priced anything in above that right now for the Qs. Your after hours high, or sorry, your pre-market high from yesterday is 737. 735 is the max move they've priced in so far. Like, it's for tomorrow. Okay, 1 day DTE then. I don't know, mate. Like, if you're in the money and you've paid yourself some and you've been holding for half an hour, 5, 10, 15, 20. So maybe you bought that IB high. Maybe you bought 32, 33, somewhere around there. As long as you paid yourself some, if you had multiple contracts, there's an argument to swing. But it's not like you've bid. It's very different to saying like you bid at 728. The chance of it coming back down to 728 overnight are far, far less now that we've broken out than the chance of it coming back down to 733s is what I'm trying to tell you. What's going on Bookmap? I don't know. You tell me. Shall I dissect that question? Alex, can you help me with order flow? Or grey box still rotating here. 270 and then all-time highs. Your targets right now. How long we got left? 40 minutes left. How are we doing on the likes? Got you all paid. I bet none of you have hit the like button. As per usual. Someone's feisty, yeah. I just find it funny. Well, what's your question? What's the actual question? What's going on with Bookmap? What's the actual question? Tell me the question. It's showing order flow? Like... Thank you, just got funded on TPT. Nice work. Nice work. If you tell me the question, Joe, I can probably help you a bit, Matt, but a bit more. But I don't know what the question is there. New all-time high. Hard to imagine it. Well, not if everything starts squeezing. I mean, look at the mag. Equally weighted mags up 0.40% on the day. Tesla, 1/3% up. Nvidia, flat. Microsoft, 2.79% up, which is great. Meta pulling back in, 0.25%. Google, 0.25% up. Amazon, just under 1% down. Apple, 0.25% up. But again, what's moving the markets? Semis. If semis start to hold this bid here at 25 and they start pushing up 230, 235, 240, which is the target for today if they can get going, it wouldn't be that hard to imagine. It might seem far away, but it's really not that far away to get up to here at this point. 150 odd points, somewhere up here. Like, I'm not saying we have to do it. Like I said, the low-hanging fruit was this grey box that we're in right now. I'm not bidding here to move higher, that's for sure. But if I was still long, if it hadn't stopped me out here and I'd be up 110 points, I'd be trying to hold a runner in case we can get up into this. Murph, been watching the videos for ages. I just bought the course. Nice, Murph. Can you re-enter the chart a bit? Recenter, like this? There you go. Let's get these likes up to 1,000, folks, and we can give something away. Alex, I got my first payout from Lucid, a full 2K. Keep doing what you're doing. Nice, Tree Facts. That's awesome, man. Great work. Can you long here, Shiv? I mean, you can. I wouldn't, but you can. I wouldn't be long here. You're paying premium price. Virtual. Well, I would agree. However, there's one thing I'd say to that. I agree, but the semis have gone into a consolidation over the last week, and the market has spent 2 weeks in consolidation, broke out, consolidated again, broke out. We did see, although light, we have seen a healthier rotation. If you look at the average and the S&P stocks over 200-day, 100-day, 50-day, 5-day, they are drastically improving versus like a week ago or 10 days ago. 80% of the market was under its 50-day moving average. Let that sink in. It's not the case anymore. Think about 50, as of last night, about 58% were over that. Alex, about 212 yesterday. So 20% tax on interest earned on cash at ISA. That's not come into effect yet, dummy. That's something that he proposed. They actually put it in the document about a year ago. Something they proposed. It will come into play if they pass it in 2027. I imagine Labour will be absolutely long gone, and she will never get a hope of putting that in, because if she puts that in, there will be absolute giant pushback. So I don't think that's going to happen, and I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't worry about it, and there'll be vehicles you can put it in. But you know what will happen? Smart people will create vehicles where you can guarantee yourself 4% a year without them being able to tax it. So I think she said a maximum of 50K into bonds and stuff like that. They will create a new vehicle, right? They will create an ETF with a very low volatility that pays you somehow. Like, she's an idiot. Finance world's far too smart to put up with some absolute cretin like that. We're not going to tax you, but we are going to tax you. Oh, but we... Shut up. Get out of office. Absolute clown show. They've always been fucking idiots, the Labour government. They always do the same. Everyone wants them in. The left just scream and scream and scream and want them in, and all they ever do is come in, tax everyone more, fuck everyone over, and then what happens? We put Conservatives back in. Except this time, we've got such a big split. you're going to put further and further right in, and we're going to get split. Talked about it yesterday. Just like Germany, just like Italy, you get in the left, go lefter, the right, go righter, and people in the middle, like me, just look at them all and go, you're all fucking clowns. Pardon my French. Exactly. Rachel from accounts. Get out. Oh, Rachel, get out. How is someone like that anywhere near Parliament? Is beyond me. It is beyond me. You know what's going to happen? It's already happening. Anyone with any common sense or money is going to leave the UK. All right? They will leave the UK looking to prosper elsewhere. And what you're going to be left with is a country which has low on GDP, high on tax, zero income, no one doing any jobs, where they've tightened up the borders, but no one wants to actually work. So who's going to do anything? Like, you're going to get property prices fall, the economy fall, everything's going to go to shit, all because these morons can't see to pass the end of their nose. You know, it's the same story in California, by the way. Price everyone out, tax everyone to pieces, and then wonder why there's no industry left here. It's greed. It's just greed. It's straight up greed. Absolute greed. There you go. There's your old 40-year-old man rant. Here we go, lift to 270. So this is your next target, like we said, TP2, 270. And through here, all-time highs. Congrats, 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 congrats. Do I think we'll start going lower now? I mean, there's no reason to think that. Stop looking for shorts. Stop. Stop it. Why are you looking for shorts? You're just convincing yourself it's up too high. There's who's trapped in this market? Where's the last chunk of volume? Here. Same level from here, right? Buyers are trapped overhead, but we're starting to let them out. There's no reason right now to be short in this market. None. Right? We're breaking out. We've just gone over this. We're breaking out. We're above the opening range. We're above the initial balance. The only short would be a counter trend short, and you would need to come under all of this and reject it, and you'd be looking for this and this and this. That's your max TP. Otherwise, this thing can keep going and going and going. Do not be like, oh, it's up too high, it's got to come down. No, right? You know what you are? You are adding liquidity to the market because you get short here, your stops here, they take it. You add, they take it. They add, they take it. You add, they take it. Right? You need trapped buyers to be short. You do not have that in this market. I would say it to you over and over and over again. You want to learn how to trade? I'll teach you how to trade. You want to gamble? Go and watch someone else on YouTube. I'm sure there's plenty of guys you can watch right now. I'm probably telling you, it's up too high, man. We're gonna cliff this shit, bro. Shut the fuck up, clowns. Teaching you how not to trade. Bro, but this inverse fair. Shut up. Shut your gob. But my mummy in my basement. Shut up. Shut up. You're a child. Yesterday, Rips lost 6K in 3 seconds. Yeah, but the amount is irrelevant, right? Rips knows how to trade. 6K to Rips is probably like $6 to you. All right, Rips trades order flow, momentum in front of him, and if he's doing one of those challenges at the moment or whatever's going on, he probably doesn't even give a shit. All right, you know, you don't go on a $1 or $2 million run that he went on his cash account last year without being able to understand the markets. Rips absolutely knows how to read the markets. I remember Rips from way back when trading small caps. Right, trust me, he can trade. Rips is one of the few on YouTube who I don't think he's even on YouTube anymore. He's on something else. I don't even know what it is, but he can read the market. He's very aggressive as a trader. But he is aggressive. He makes money. He can afford to be aggressive. That's his way of trading. Like I said, there's a million ways to trade, but he can definitely read the market. 6K is nothing. Nothing to him. Hit the 270, yeah. Hit that call wall. Q's hit the 735 call wall. SPY is at IB high. 654 call wall 4. It's running out of room. It's 230s right now is what the SOXL is looking for. That's the next level. Carmine, I don't watch Carmine, but I know he trades order flow. I'm sure he's very good. Look, the truth is, once you understand order, once you've been in the market long enough, once you can read the book, read the tape, read order flow, you are going to be a decent level of trader. Fact. Doesn't matter what you're trading. Doesn't matter what asset. I don't care if you're trading ES, gold, silver, corn, small caps, large caps. Markets move the same way. Once you understand how the markets move and you can genuinely read it, you're going to be a decent trader. If you don't understand it, you're probably going to struggle for a bit until you do understand it. Mate, you laugh, corn. You laugh, corn. People historically made a lot of money about corn. And you know what? If we've got a super El Nino year coming, guarantee people make a lot of money out of corn again. Guarantee people make a lot of money in cacao again. Guarantee you. Oh, I've got no data for it. That's annoying. CFDs. I get this. All right. You don't think people make money out of these by understanding how the markets operate? You don't think this gigantic move, right, which happened due to a drought, you don't think people make money out of stuff like this? They do. All right, they do. Look at this. Woo! All right, that was the squeeze. When they ran out of cacao to make chocolate, so they had to start getting it, I think it was from Ethiopia or something instead. Soybeans, all of those. Yeah, well, it's confirmed Super El Nino for sure. So you could look at nat gas for sure. Focus. Do me a favor. Stop asking a really silly question. What do I think price will do? Stop asking me a silly question. No, Wes, not doing any competitions like that. Same with Ninja Trader. We talked about this a while ago. I floated it to the Discord. No one was really interested in doing it. I think because, again, the problem with these Grand Cup things, and you will see it. All they do is invite you to trade poorly. That's all you'll do. You'll put more risk on, take subpar setups with more size. Because you won't care, because you're like, I have to make this much to win. And then you'll go back to your cash account, or your funded account, and you'll be in a bad habit. Took 70% off at 220, 20% off at 270, holding 10% runner with a door, with a stop deep in the money, guaranteed 1,500 on the day. Thank you, Alex. A Cooper, lovely work. That is awesome trading. Traded it better than I did, my friend. Nice work, and thank you for the gift. That's my Starbucks run for the day. That is my Starbucks for the day. All right, 230s here, SOXL. What do we say? This is the level now. All right, we've talked about this. 230s here. You're going to see a reaction here. It's a gamma level. All right, so we were talking about the 211. Think about this morning what we said. The 211 holds will be important. All right, through 214s, if you rewind the tape, I said through 214s, we'd squeeze to 217s. There's the squeeze to 217s. We came back to the 11s. We held, we reclaimed. There's the inverted head and shoulder. We were waiting for this. I kept saying once it breaks out through the New York Open, the squeeze is on. There's the squeeze. 220, 225, 230. You just tagged, or very close to tagging 230. This is their target today, right? I doubt it does it in a one slingshot in one straight go, all right? We probably build out a bit of liquidity if they're going to do this move. This is where they want to go for the 0 DTE today. And I imagine they've got a good shot at doing it now. Don't fight the semis. I mean, the amount of people fighting them is ludicrous right now. IONQ another 7% today. I know, mate. We are killing that one. It's going well. Alex, discipline is your key to consistent success. The most important lesson I've learned from you. Discipline is everything, my friend. It is everything when it comes to trading. Right, you just tagged 230s. That's your high of day now on SOXL. It might be 10 cents short, 229.90s. If you're there or thereabouts. So this is the level. If you see some profit taking here and you leave a pin high here, you might start seeing a pullback. So just be aware of that. You're starting to feel some of these imbalances that we talked about as well, right? These sell side imbalances from yesterday evening. We're starting to feel some of these now. You're into some key levels and you just got to see how far this goes. Hopefully it keeps going for you. And I would just manage your stop now. Like be watching the 270s, see if you can hold a bid over the 270s. Depends how much room you're willing to give this really. I certainly wouldn't want it coming back down to 234s again, because that would be through a low volume node then to come and test this. It's very possible it can do that. I'm just saying, if I was still long from here, but we were trying to get long here, and this, all right, and we've paid yourself some here, some here, some here, all right, you don't really want it to come back under this. All right, it's done a lot of hard work. Hopefully, if they come back down here, you just see that, keep bidding. If you start to lose this, you get a revisit that, you'll be upset. You give too much back. $300 coming up here. They are adding liquidity higher. Oof, oof, oof. All right, we're still nowhere near the 1,000 likes, folks. 1,000 of you here not smash that like button. Do me a favor and hit it. Do me a favor and smash it. I should probably talk about Apex, shouldn't I? Probably some of you don't know about it. Right, they added on last night. You can now buy bundles of 5, right, to save you time when you try and buy numerous in a go. You can buy bundles of 5. And you can also, what's going on here? Google. You can also pay for your activation fee in one go. All right, so if you come down right now, and let's have a look how much it's going to cost you at the moment. So where is that to put it on the screen? Okay, so if you choose your path now, you can go end of day trail and you can go no activation fee. So 25K account is $89 right now with code FZT, or $109 for a 50K. If you do the standard account, you can get a 25K account end of day for $40. Intraday trail is $19, very cheap, $19.90. But you can now buy your bundles. As you go through into the next page, it will offer you to buy a bundle. So save you time for the first time. I can't believe it took them so long to get that done. I do agree with that, dummy. Yeah, it'd be they keep telling me like no more, and then they do it again. But I think there was such a big pushback on the live program that they were like, okay, we need to fix this live program and offer people something again, which I understand. How do prop firms make most of their money? Off failed traders. Simple as that. As simple as that. Off failed traders. Every time you pay for something and you blow up, they are making money out of you. It is that simple. There's no other way around it. I'm not going to butter it up and say that they make money from winning traders. They don't. They can tell you that they do. They do not. They make money from failed traders. Okay, look at SOXL. Why that was a big level. Oh. What? No way. No way. Chips pull back, market pulls back? No. We couldn't have predicted that at all. No way. No way, man. Revenue from the cost of the accounts is more than the money they pay out. Yeah, exactly. Look, if you spend, I think Apex put a stat out the other day that their average trader passes 1 in 3 accounts. So let's say they pass 1 in 3 accounts. So that means if they had 20 accounts, let's just make it easy. Let's say they spend $2,000. They have to spend that 3 times. So they spend $6,000 to get 20 accounts passed. How many of those get to pay out from that $6,000? I reckon not that many. There is a lot of gamblers and failed traders. All right, and you times that by a huge amount of traders, it would give you the total. It's why I tell you guys, slow down, trade with micros, trade good setups. Is there a way to get involved as a new money long? Not right now. Like I said, I think you need to see this pull back. So you can watch this level. It's not ideal. And you can watch this level. Right. So I'd wait to see if we do something like this or something like this for later in the day. But otherwise, not really. Not really. And I'd be watching that SOXL, see how it reacts at 225s. It might need to come deeper to 222s. You've hit your big targets have like been hit. Remember, you would if I was long, I'd be runners only right now, and I'd probably be all out. If it can't hold this, all right, if it doesn't trap and go again, I'd probably be all out. I would not want it to come under this. If I was still long from here, and I'd paid some, paid some, and paid some, I'd want this to protect. Because if this doesn't protect, we're coming right back down to my probably core price, which I would not be very happy with on a runner. That's where my head would be at. Up 4K today, thanks, man. You're welcome. Is it SOXL data free? I mean, what do you mean by free? I don't know what you mean by free. I mean, it's a standard ETF on New York Stock Exchange. So I don't know if you get New York Stock Exchange data or not for free. I honestly couldn't tell you. Why am I looking at the high volume node to reject? Which high volume node? No. Think about what I'm looking for. Here's the low volume node. I'm looking for a buyer. I would say a buyer would have to be in here, aren't I? I would not want it to come down into this. This is what I've just said. It would need to be in here, in front of this. All right? So if you're talking about a rejection, I'm not talking about coming into here. I'm talking about coming in front. This is an area I don't want to trade. I'd want it to support in front of that. If it doesn't support in front of that, it probably comes underneath to here, and then it would need to get back above, right? But if you are going to bid here, If you're like, all right, I'm bidding the low volume node, where's your risk? It's going to be here, isn't it? Or you're going to bid at the top side of that, risking underneath that, right? I don't trade in these. I trade each side of these. We talk about this a lot. How's ARKX looking? It's up another 3% today. We're up nice on that swing. It will keep printing until we get the IPO. We're up 16% on that swing in Discord. Alex, can get your opinion on SpaceX and potential 10 trillion plus company in a couple decades. I mean, what do you? I don't know what to say to that. It's an unknown, isn't it? It's a complete unknown. There's two ways of looking at it. Could it be a $10 trillion company? Yeah. Could the IPO fail? Yeah. Could that be the start of this market having a deeper pullback? Yeah. Am I long in anticipation of the IPO? Yeah. Like, I've been risk on for it. I don't know. When did we get risk on Discord on that? 2 weeks ago, was it? Maybe some of you can answer me. I don't know. 2-3 weeks ago, we started positioning long in the space names in anticipation because maybe it'd be a sell the news event. But I don't know what's going to happen long term with it. Like, who knows? Could be a fail company. Humanoid robots is the next leg of the AI trade. Maybe. I mean, I'd say that. I'd say quantum, but I think the more important thing is the build out, is the materials and data center build out. I mean, we're pricing all this stuff in. We're going to do this and we're going to do this and this is going to happen with AI and this is going to happen, right? Who's fucking building it and where's that money coming from? Those companies are the one that's gone up. I can't remember the name of the company. There's one company that used to do like government contracts for like oil and copper lines and stuff. They're up like 30,000% in the last year. What does it mean by Goldman Sachs being behind the SpaceX IPO? They probably did the raise on it. Okay, so here's into the low volume node. Like I said, this would need to protect this high volume node now. So if buyers are going to show up, they have to show up in here versus this grey box here, don't they? And you would need to see this move here for your continuation. They are showing signs that the rich are planning on leaving Earth. Cool. Get rid of them. I'm good with that. We're talking about the super rich. Go on. Send them away. Put them on Mars. It can be like that. They can go and live on that rock planet, like Project Hail Mary. Put them there with Ryan Gosling. I'm fine with it. Yeah, exactly. Bye. See ya. See ya, paedophile crew. Go and fiddle with some kids on Mars. Get out of here. I'm absolutely fine with that. Great film, yeah. Amazing film. Who cried at The Rock? I did. My tears definitely welled up on the on that scene where he got hurt. Never thought I'd cry or well up looking at a rock get hurt. Yeah. I'm not crying, you're crying. That's what I said to my wife when she sat next to me. She's like, are you welling up at a rock? No. No, bruv. Tough, innit? Give me a pint of Stella now, bitch. Where's my fucking Stella? Suddenly in the middle of the film and just started going, Arsenal, Arsenal. Fucking Danny Dyer, son. Oh, I'm Danny Dyer. All right, here you go. So SOXL pulled back off the 230s, back to the 225s. This is where it needs to make a decision. Is it willing to hold a print around the 225s? If it loses the 225s, chance comes revisit that old high of day, which is 222. So this is what we're asking right now. So this is the node. We talked about it, and it would have to hold in front of this. Something like this if you're going to see a continuation. All right. Again, I'm not bidding on this. I've had my goes. I'm good. How are we doing on the likes? Are we still not there? Still not there. I tell you what, this will get it moving. I'll give away a better account. You get it to 1,200 likes, I'll give you away a 50k Lucid's flex account. That's the deal. You get to 1,200, we'll do a 50k flex account, Lucid flex account. Much better than the normal one we give away. So there you go, starting to reclaim. This is what we just talked about we would need to see. So now anything that holds sort of 70s and 74s, anything that holds this, they'll look to continue. So low volume node held, protected high volume node. This is the kind of move you want to see. We drew this out ahead of time, and it's starting to hold it. Yeah, well, this is what you want, right? You want this protected, and this is where they would put their stops. Like if I'm getting long in here, I need to protect this. I do not want it back in here in the chop zone. It's really good. And any pullback now, you want it to hold above this, ideally, to give you the cleanest move. It might not do that, but that would be the cleanest move. And again, I'd have my eye on the semis. Okay, I tell you what, you guys get to 1,200 likes. I'm going to use the bathroom. When we come back, if we're at 1,200 likes, we will give away a Lucid account. I'll be right back. Almost there, guys. You're at 1.1. Just need a bit more. A little bit of failed follow through there on SOXL. Still holding up all right. You do not want to lose this pivot here. Any of you who took that long, you do not want to lose this pivot here. Starting to show some signs of exhaustion here on the tape as well. Starting to see some signs of exhaustion. There are imbalances to fill down here at 50 and 37s. And we had a bearish divergent candle there as well on a 5-minute. Which doesn't look too pretty. This one here, we had big buy side delta and we closed heavy. It's not a good sign. You can't see the count? Oh, really? Well, it's at 1,100. So if 100 of you click like now, it would be at 1,200. What's the one piece of advice you'd give an unprofitable trader that's been struggling for years? It's a really good question. I'd need to know like why they were unprofitable, but my guess, there's only 2 reasons people are unprofitable. 2. 1, they have no defined strategy or rule set. They don't know what they're trading and what they're doing, and they have no defined strategy and rule set. Or 2, they have those things, but their ego dictates to them what they're doing rather than structure. So it's one of those 2 things, right? It's one of those 2 things. It might be both. It might be that worst case scenario, they have no rules and they've got an ego. So then they're a gunslinger, right? They're walking into a party with a machine gun, hoping they hit the enemy and not their friends, but they just keep doing friendly fire and blowing themselves up, right? We need to be a sniper in the market. Snipers in the market because we remember our job, really our job is to buy, all right, a good level, all right, manage risk, I take the losses here, and try and get the full move, or at least pay ourselves some of it. Right? If you were spraying and praying here and here and long and long and long and blow up, and then it came up here, and then you would have made your money. If you're the guy here that's going, I knew it was going to go up. No, you didn't. Because you failed to identify that we're in a range and that we're going to chop. You didn't know. You didn't know shit. Right? That's your ego telling you that you think you're right. You're not. Right? It's easy. I can close my eyes now, right, and go, this market's going to go up. At some point, I'm going to be right. It might be today. It might be tomorrow. It might be a year. It might be 10 years. At some point, I'm going to be right. My point with that is timing is everything in the market. It's absolutely everything. Learn to lose without getting emotional. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the hardest thing to do. I talk about it all the time, all right? It's my belief, having studied sports psychology and have a Bachelor of Science in it with honours, right? And I played a very competitive sport as well, and I'm sure lots of you did. The hardest lesson to learn as someone in Western civilization culture or anyone that's played competitive sport, you are taught that you work harder, you know, that you'll get the rewards. You are also taught the Lombardian ethic. Some of you might know what that is, especially in America. Win at all costs. Win, 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 win. The only thing that matters is your win. Win, 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 win. No. Right? You do that in trading, I'll tell you what you're going to do. Lose, 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 lose. Because what that means is you will not accept taking a loss is a good trade. Taking a loss and stopping out is a good trade. If you've pre-planned the trade, right? If you've pre-planned the trade, I'm going to buy on the dips that hold this box, and I'm going to look for that move. Okay, I buy, I add to the winner, I reduce size, I stopped out. All right, it's a good stop. There's nothing wrong with that. I try again, stop out. I try again. This time I get paid a bit, and I stop out here. Unfortunate, it is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. What if, all right, I bought this, and then I added here, and I added here, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm not stopping out. I'm going to win this trade because my ego says, and then the market goes, yeah, see ya. And I blow up. All right. And I lose all my money down here. right? Because my ego dictates that I must win at all costs. No, you cannot do that. So that's the hard thing to learn. That you have to treat a good stop out the same way you treat a good profit, right? You have to get that dopamine hit. If you're rewarding yourself by P&L, but that P&L is made in a bad trade, you're going to make bad trades. I'll give you an example, right? I used to learn from someone who would trade small caps, right? And he was about the third or fourth trader I went to, right? And we would see some small cap getting a news release in the morning, 5 a.m. news release. Okay, and then on a daily, let's say we have old VWAPs here, old highs here. Okay, and he'd come up and he'd take a short here. It's very normal on small caps, okay? And he'd come up again through that and he wouldn't stop out and he'd add here. And then we go into price discovery and he'd add, 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 because he just goes, oh, well, this is a shit company, it's up too high. Those things are true. It was a shit company, it was up too high, but where was the risk management? It didn't exist. Now, the difference between him and me is, at the time, I had a very small account, he had a very big account. And then the market would come down, let's say to here, and his average maybe was here. And even though he's leveraged $60,000 into the market, right, he was in maybe $100,000 drawdown or something here, he'd make 2K and be like, oh, great trade. No, it's fucking awful because your timing was off. It was terrible. Right? It took me a long time to learn that, of like not what not to do. What did help in your early stages of trading with psychology, over trading, revenge trading? I'll tell you what helped. I'll tell you what helped. Blowing up over and 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 over again with real money. I'm just being honest with you. It took tears. It took like me to hit rock bottom to the point where I wanted to quit and be like, I'm not fucking doing this anymore. And then I started to look at the trades I was taking and I was like, this is not about your lack of knowledge. This is about your ego stopping you being a good trader. I'm sure I trade less than a lot of other traders on YouTube. I'm sure I do. I'm also sure I hit more 100-point winners than a lot of other traders on YouTube, right? Because I'd wait and wait and wait for a market condition. Go and watch the video I put out on like the checklist. Like, what do I try and avoid? I try and avoid ranges. How can you see ranges, right? Zoom out, look left. Where's the range? Okay, current week range. Here it is. Okay, in here we're going to chop, right? It's determined by the profile. It's also determined by what's happened, all right? Resistance, support, resistance, fail breakout, support, resistance, fail breakdown, support, resistance, breakout, long, great, thanks, low, hanging, fruit, buy, done, right? Don't need to be at the casino any longer. It gave us king today. What's the chances of sitting at the table when we went pass, 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 king? Yep, there's my bet, made my money. What are the chances of me now getting king or ace? They're pretty fucking small, man. They're pretty small. It's understanding that. And even if we get king again, we've got to get some. Think about this. Even if we think that this is a king area, this is why someone asked me why we do these grey boxes here. They have to hold this versus this node, all right? They have to, buyers need to do this. If they lose this, you're going to see this wash into this next load, right? Even if we think here is a king, we need someone in here with like a 2-3 who's an idiot, right? Because if we're buyers here with a good hand, we need to know that there's some sellers here with shit hands, right? Which is by reading order flow. We need to see sellers caught in here with shit hands to get this last move. But is there much reason to go up there other than the all-time high? We can check to see if there's a new gamma gone in. I'll update it. Give me a second. Just in case. Let's just check on Tanuki in case they've added something new. Okay, there you go, some new levels. So they've added some new levels that you can go for. So if we get back above this, so we're protecting the high volume node. If we get back above this, this is the target. These are the only things left. But the big one, C1, has been hit. That's the low-hanging fruit for me. So again, it's like trading, how can I put that? Like, what's the high probability trade? Let's just trade the high probability trade. Stop trying to trade a low probability trade setup. For me, I know what my high probability trades are. They're expansions. Ah, man, I've really fucking hurt this wrist. I reckon I don't know what the fuck I've done with it. God damn it. Broken body nowadays. When I looked at my losses to understand what went wrong, I would get the direction right, but the entry was poor and I rushed. You've helped me get that final bit of patience to make more consistent. Awesome, man. Can you explain volume bars you use? Jeremy, there's a free video on my YouTube. I think it's called like if you go on my YouTube on the homepage, there's a whole like section dedicated to volume. Just go on there, my friend. It's probably too much to do in this, but there's lots for free on there. Pickleball too much, man. I haven't played pickleball since I put my back out. I know, Scotty. Mate, I'm so broken. Like, I swear. At the weekend, I did an uphill walk and then a hike, and my foot, the back part of my heel blew up on the pad. I hurt my shoulder playing pool last week. I've hurt my wrist now doing I don't know what. Have your YouTube vids got an order to them? Yeah, like there's a whole tab. Just go through the tab. They're all there. Do I trade my own capital? Yes, Dr. Berto, but mainly on swings. I say this a lot, mainly on swings. Most of my money is made in swing trading, right? Because you cannot compare, all right, things like you cannot compare things like this, right? That's my AMD. These are some of my positions. Here's my IO and Q. That's IO and Q. Here's my space fund. My space ETF. There's lots, right? Here's Robinhood, and I'd already paid myself some of this. These are just positions I'm still holding. All right, here's iBit, which has come back in about 10%. I was up a lot more than this, but we're still holding well. Here's my iBit. I'm not going to tell you the name of this, but those in Discord know this is the small cap, which I think has a chance of being a very, very big one over the next few years. Now, this is just like giving you an example. What else have we got? Here's Apple. These are current positions. Here's Amazon. Here's Oracle. What else we got? Here's Softy. All right, those are gains, live gains right now, and there's others as well. USAR, like I started a position in SoFi a few days ago. Nike's now up 6%. Like these are where long term I make money. The gains like these, all I say to do is if you're trading with prop, great. Pay yourself this again. I'm gonna say this. I say it many times. All right, I'm not a financial advisor. I am a 40-year-old, long-haired, sunglasses wearing, going grey, broken-bodied old man on YouTube. Take this with a pinch of salt. Trade prop firms on futures, especially while you're learning to trade. Make your errors on there. Get good at trading them. Take the money out. Make that money go to work for you passively. For me, there's two places I like to put money. In the market and in houses. That's it. All right, that's where I get my growth. That's where the passive money comes from while you sleep. All right, this prop firm game probably won't last forever. So learn the lessons and take the money out of it and put it to work. Put that money to work. You want to beat the S&P? You need to do 11% a year. I'm pretty sure everything I just showed you there was well over 11% a year. Right? That's it. That's all you got to do, right? Because all markets work the same ways. They buy good companies in good positions of good key levels and let them work. The end. Buy good houses in undervalued areas and let them grow and sell them. The end, right? That's what I do. When you start to do training, when did I start? Sort of back end of university, about 20 years ago when I first started dabbling around. You're up 16% on Microsoft thanks to me. Yeah, lovely work. Nice. Yeah, and pay taxes, unfortunately. What broker do I use for swing trading? I use a few different ones. So I have... depending who I'm trading with, but that one is in an ISA account because I don't have to pay taxes on it. All right, so that's with Trading 212. I also have accounts with TradeStation as my main swing trading account when I'm a bit more active. And I also have an account with, what the fuck are they called? AIG or something. That's all I've got in there is some ETFs that I just leave alone. Use the real estate as a write-off too. Huge returns from real estate write-offs for all your businesses. Yeah, that's my plan if I move to Texas. Definitely. Alex, if we use TPO, then would you consider NQ's all-time highs current an area that needs to be corrected? Yeah, well, like I said, when we were up here, what is unusual about this move? If you were here on stream with me this day, I said, it is very rare that we put an all-time high in Globex, all right? Normally, an all-time high is made in a New York session, all right? So, yes, because your TPO on that day, that'll be an auction that probably needs to be repaired up there. Doesn't need to be repaired today, but probably there's a very strong, if you went and looked at, let's try and have a look. Let's see. See if we can get some data on this. Okay, there you go. 70 to 85% of all new all-time highs in the NQ are made in New York. All right? There's your edge. It's very, very unlikely. 10 to 25% are made in Asia, and I don't think they will last. So there's your edge. That's like, if you've traded long enough, you'd know that anyway. I know I looked it up to check the stats, but there we go. No NFTs. Yeah, I don't have any cyberpunks, if that's what you're asking. TradeStation. TradeStation. It's because I'm old school. I probably still have an account with TradeZero somewhere as well from my small cap days, and I had a ton of them. I used to have tons of accounts with different brokers in the small cap days, because TradeZero at one point used to start ripping everyone off for the locates. It used to really piss me off. Really used to piss me off. And that was like pre prop firm. I mean, now you could trade with Trade the Pool. I think they even have swing trading accounts, and they don't charge you for locates or anything, which is, it's just incredible. What do you prefer to look for in a small cap? Shit company with shit books, ideally with some form of offering or warrants available on it, that is pumping with some shitty news with bag holders in it, because I would always be short side on it. So that's what I used to look for. There's probably not as much edge in it now. There have been some good interviews recently. You can go and listen to Edu. He's a good trader. I used to be in some rooms with Edu back in the day. Eduardo, good dude. He's on. If you've listened to Chat with Traders, the last few interviews are miles better than they've been for ages. Thank God. No offense if anyone is from that room or from anything to do with it, but I was not feeling it after they got swapped Aaron out, or Aaron. I don't know how to say it. Aaron Feifel, but way better now. The new host, way better. Better guests, better interviews, back to how it should be. Way better. But there's some good interviews on there. I think, what's his name from MIC's been on there recently as well. Let's do the giveaway. We're still at not 1,200. I'll refresh it, but you know the deal. Some of you haven't hit like. Nothing I can do. One of you saying silver is back. I mean, it's at 75. It's still a little way away. Just got back. Can you give your NQ analysis, any steam left today, your opinion? I mean, it's searching for these next levels, isn't it? We just talked about holding this high volume node, the grey box. There you go. It held it. We've drawn this out. Maybe you just made it in. This is what it's searching for. This. And above this is price discovery. We were long from here. Right? And some of you are still long looking for this. And I said, like, as long as it protects this, you can hold it. It's protecting it. And there's the search up. ES now holding IB and pushing back above it. And all you need now is SOXL to break through the 230 and go 235, 240. And you are up and away. How many more likes? I can't see. All I can see is that we're at 1,100. What's the next level? It's right here, the grey box. All right, it's right here. So psychological, you could say 300, but I'd be watching 310, 355, 380. That's your levels for the day. After that, it's price discovery. Yeah, sure. Inbox me on Instagram. That's fine. No worries. Okay, team. Well, you didn't get me there, but I'm kind. So let's give away A Lucid account. We're going to do a 50k Lucid account, all right? A good account. 50k Lucid Flex. All right, just type FZT once into chat. That's your best code for Lucid, best code for Funded Next right now. That sale at Funded Next ends soon as well. So if you're interested in Funded Next, big sale on there. That's ending soon as well. And Apex as well, best sale there, 90% off there. FZT, Flow Zone Trader, FZT. Give you guys a minute to do that. Alex, do you notice the 150k Pro is cheaper than the Flex? Pretty good deal for traders who are consistent. I didn't notice that. I will check that out. Thank you for letting me know. All right, so you're almost at the next grey box. There is liquidity being added here. 305, 310, 315, 320, 325, and then you've got a little bit of room up to 350. And you're getting close. You need to see a breakout, okay, on the semis. You need to see a breakout over 230 on the semis. They held the dip in front of 225. They hit 225.50s. They held that dip. You need to see continuation breakout here for the rest of the day. Okay, let's pull this winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Mar Morrow. Are you here, Mar Morrow 777? Mar Morrow 777. Let me know you're here in chat. There you are. Okay, awesome. Mar Morrow, what I need you to do, I'm making a note of your name right now. I need you to email me, please, kind sir. info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube so I can see it's you with you talking. And I will set you up with a Lucid account. And we'll get that done for you this afternoon. Well, as soon as I get off stream. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are welcome. All right, team, I think that's it. Let's just go over the chart so you're set up for this afternoon's plays. Okay, everything is bullish. We remain bullish. There is no bearish action in this market right now. All right, we are breakout. As a reminder, we are breakout of range. I'm going to re-listen to this. To clean this up. All right, we're breaking out. If there is a sell here, it will be a counter trend sell. Right? We're breaking out of range after looking below and failing. Right? And we held in here. This is the drive. Now it's arguable if they don't complete it in one go, they can come back in. I'd be watching here. Right? If they want to come back into here and see if they hold a bid in front of basically 180s. To complete this move. Now, it's possible they come back in here and just do this today and save this for tomorrow. They don't have to finish the whole auction in one day. But if you are going to be bearish here, you are playing a counter trend leg. Remember, we're in breakout. Maybe there's a chance it comes back in a bit. But if you're looking for the sell, it is the hardest move in the book because smart money is going this way. We are buy side right now. Sell side. Buy side, all right? This is where it's trying to come. So I'd be waiting. The easiest move will be to wait for a pullback, let sellers get caught and take it higher. Otherwise, if we get into price discovery, the only then thing to do, let it break out and look for the same thing here. See if it builds out some liquidity here and starts to go again. Ideally, they save that for tomorrow. All right, ideally, they save that for tomorrow. And I will see you tomorrow morning. All right, let's close out Friday strong. It's been another good week. Unfortunately, today could have been better if it just let that trade work for me a bit more. But there we go. We take the green days, don't we? We're happy with the green days. And I'll see you in the morning, guys. Be kind to each other. As a reminder, use hard stops. You've just hit the next level. You just hit the 10s. You're into the grain box. You should be small size now and just hoping that you get the all-time highs at this point. And again, as a reminder, you need 230s to be a breakout point on SOXL. You're very, very close. You need that to break out and get you the squeeze. 235, 240 is the big gamma. You get up there, you're going to see a big all-time high shove, honestly, which would be fantastic for you lot who are still long from down here. That would be really, really good. All right, peace and love, everyone. I'll see you in the morning. Those in Discord are going to pop in now, have you set up, and then I'm going to hit the gym, take a break. And yeah, use hard stops, all that good stuff. I'll see you tomorrow morning.